Hi, everyone. I can't find my Simpsons. Here it is.
Horrifying.
Pointless. Exhausting. It took the children 40 minutes to locate Canada on the map.
Marge, anyone can miss Canada, all tucked away down there.
Extra short. I went through a bunch because there's so many Canadian references throughout the years on Simpsons, but a lot of them you need to see the visuals to get what they're talking about. So I felt that one was the best. Johnny, Canada Day is coming up.
Right here on Fantasy Masterpieces.
Yes, coming up soon, July 1st.
And the actual Canada Day. I thought you were meaning what we're doing right now.
This is the prologue to Canada Day.
That explains the Expo shirt. Got it.
Yes, this is the best I can do. Well, I do have a Team Canada hockey jersey, but it is baseball season, so
I could go throw on my Shorzy jersey, but it's way too hot for that.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're a winter country up here. Johnny, speaking of that, you just a few weeks ago you made your second trip to the Great White North.
I did.
And you've been podcasting with me and with Travis for so many years. I think you're now officially an honorary Canadian.
Oh, thank you.
Like Angelo Mosca
I'm in great company.
Billy Cowsill lived the last 20 or 30 years of his life in Canada and died in Calgary. So yeah, you're in great company. Today, it's interesting. It's gonna be obscure for Canadians, and that's pretty much all that who are watching. So it maybe not so obscure. We're gonna be talking about Canadian cartoons from the 1960s, or at least Canadians in cartoons in the 1960s. And before I forget, I've got to add my Canada Day logo.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about Rocket Robin Hood. We're going to be talking about the Mighty Hercules, and we're going to be talking about Spider-Man. Yes, Spider-Man is Canadian. Didn't you know? The voice definitely was, and all the voices from the cartoon, but we'll be getting to that shortly. Yeah, so let's get into it. First up is Rocket Robin Hood, a cartoon from 1967.
Yay.
1967 to 69. This was, the voices are all Canadian. Johnny will fill you in on the other details. But it pretty much aired, I believe, only in Canada. And we, of course, are a comic book podcast, so we're kind of cheating here. There is no Rocket Robin Hood comic book that I'm aware of. But the story we're going to be telling today, it connects with the other two cartoons, with Spider-Man in a very specific way, as we'll be talking about. And to kick it off, why don't we go with the theme for Rocket Robin Hood? It's a doozy.
Come gather around me, space travelers surround me. Hark now to the ballad of Rocket Robin Hood. I may well confound you, astound you, spellbound you with heroes and villains, the bad and the good. Watch now as our rockets race here from afar, for now with our Robin we live on a star.
3, 2, 1. Blast off! Band of brothers marching together, heads held high in all kinds of weather. With fiery blast our roaring rockets rise, beyond the earth, beyond the skies, at the side of Robin take to stand. With the gallant leader of the band, send a joyous shout throughout the land for Rocket
Hood. One of the best themes so far. Oh, it's not done. That's maybe the outro music.
Yeah. I tell you, when you first started talking about this show, when we first got started. And like I said,
Mhm.
I'd never heard of it. You're right. It was only if it got shown anywhere in the United States, it'd have to be close to the border, I'd imagine.
Yeah, if you
Um,
had if you could get a Canadian
Yeah,
channel, I know you can do that in like Buffalo, for example.
exactly. When I heard Rocket Robin Hood, my mind raced to, oh, that sounds like something from the 80s. And then when I was like, oh, this is 60s stuff. And that's what made it far more interesting to me. When you first brought it up, I'm like, oh, it sounds like some terrible 80s cartoon where they're toys too. But no. This is pure 1960s insanity.
Late 60s insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it starts
Yeah.
67, so some
Yeah.
summer of love going on on planet Sherwood.
I think it's an asteroid
It's
planet.
an asteroid. Yeah, okay.
Something like that.
But you grew up watching this.
Well, kind of.
Okay.
I definitely remember it in the 80s, but I remember it being on the weekend, like, and maybe even Saturday mornings. So it was competing with, actual, cool cartoons that I wanted to watch. Because I don't remember like religiously watching this like I did Spider-Man and Hercules, because those were on Monday through Friday every day for years and years. But my memories of Rocket Robin Hood, and Travis or Duke, Sean may be able to add more info on this. I just remember it being like a once a week thing and something I only watched occasionally. And I knew, I could tell from just the vibe and from the episodes we're going to be talking about, the connection to Spider-Man. And then I thought this is like some, even as a kid, thought it was like just some cheesy C-level Spider-Man ripoff or whatever, leftover Spider-Man stuff. But we've been alluding to these cartoons for weeks, months, and it's something I can't say I thought about too much in the last 35 years. But I'm glad we did bring it up and brought it back, because it's an interesting one to talk about.
No one's doing this show. Okay.
No,
at least with all three. I did find, when I was looking through YouTube for just any little information, I did find two guys who do a sort of a show similar, talking about Rocket Robin Hood. And after I heard for the first 30 seconds, heard him make a joke, I turned it off because I'm like, no.
We're above that, hon.
No, I was like, I don't want to accidentally rip off a joke. No.
Oh, okay.
But here, so the premise, and I didn't write down any of the premise, but it's Robin Hood in space, and the merry men are Robin, as we see here, who, I'm a huge Robin Hood fan, but I'm of the opinion there's only one good Robin Hood movie, and that's The Adventures of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn. Yeah. The Disney cartoon's a lot of fun. Robin and Marion with Sean Connery is interesting, but I wouldn't say it's a good movie.
Okay.
I hated Prince of Thieves. Then they made like two more in the recent years that were bombs, and there's a new one out this week called The Death of Robin Hood.
Yes, yeah. I kind of know the general details, but
it's like
something. Yeah, it's a different take on Robin Hood.
Oh yeah, it's the whole like, he was like, I wasn't really a hero. I killed people because I enjoyed it. I was like, you know what? I don't need to fucking see this shit. However, with most Robin Hoods, there is sort of a look, and Rocket Robin Hood does not have that look. And I'm not just talking about his fabulous tunic, just the facials, the no facial hair, no thin mustache. Yeah. And he's just got like a nice.
That's him on the left with Little John.
Yeah, Little John. You can see the way they draw Little John that he's a simpleton. But Robin Hood just has a conservative, like late 50s hairstyle with a shock of white in it. And just like nothing about him screams Robin Hood to me.
No, he's more like Reed Richards, like
a little bit.
Yeah. Like an everyman sort of look. Yeah. Definitely like a early 60s button down type.
Oh, he's Don Draper in space.
Yeah, there you go.
But now, the episode we watched really only had Little John, and we briefly got to see Space Friar Tuck,
Yeah.
And so I mean, what religion are they in space? I'm wondering. Is it friars are Catholic, right?
That's
So
right.
are
It's
there?
supposed to be the year 3000, by the way,
Oh wow,
if
Catholic.
that matters.
And Will Scarlet, we see. They never say him by name, but he's got the red
Yes.
hair. That's Will Scarlet.
Yeah.
But in the opening promo, you also see that there's, I think, Alan Adale and Maid Marian's part of the crew. And then there's like, I guess it's the comic sidekick. He looks like a tiny little old man. He has an apron on. I think he's like their cook or something like that.
Yes.
He's got to be like Gabby Hayes or something.
Yeah. There's also the reoccurring villains, of course, the sheriff and Prince John, but it's the sheriff of Not, NOTT, which, what does that stand for? Or here it is, the National Outer Space Terrestrial Territories.
And there's
But
a
we don't
prince.
see
So
them in this episode.
so there's royalty and Catholicism in space. So
Yes.
that's interesting.
Yeah. And none of them are English, so
no.
apparently this spread over to America at some point in the future.
I get
Or Canada. This is Canada's future.
This is Canada's future. Yeah,
Oh,
Little
dear.
John's not slow. He just sounds that way.
Yeah.
It's like that Simpsons. I moved here from Canada and they think I'm slow, eh?
You can definitely, I have, of course, an ear for Canadian accents, and I could definitely detect one in Little John.
Yeah, I picked up. I picked it up in Little John. Years of podcasting with you guys, and just 3 days, hanging out on the drive. I can spot it a lot better now.
That's good to know.
Yeah. But let's go into some of the details.
Sure.
So Rocket Robin Hood was produced by Krantz Films, which we'll be talking about throughout the show, and aired on the CBC from 67 to 69. As a Rocket Robin Hood was produced and animated at Trillium Productions, and that was an animation studio that was part of the Guest Group, a creative group of companies owned by producer Al Guest. One of the key animators was Jean Mathiasen, who was one of the first female animators in Canada. And she later formed Rainbow Animation in Canada and Magic Shadows Inc. in the US, where they continued to produce animated TV shows, probably none of which I've ever heard of.
Probably, and me too.
Yeah. Background designer Richard H. Thomas joined the group late in the second season, and he brought a dark, almost psychedelic feel to the production under associate producer for Krantz Films, Ralph Bacci. And you can see it in this episode because the design of the villain is fucking scary for a children's cartoon in 1967.
Oh, totally. Yeah. This is, I'm in, and we're going to talk about how this is parallels the Spider-Man cartoon. But yeah, this is nightmare inducing.
He's Infinata.
Yes.
But all the backgrounds are really there is so much psychedelic shit going on between the backgrounds, like the spinning discs, like hypno discs and everything behind it. It's fascinating because they were doing this in a children's cartoon. One of the show's chief designers during the time was science fiction illustrator and comic book artist Gray Morrow.
Yeah.
Bernard Cohen was the show's narrator. Paul Kligman, who voiced J. Jonah Jameson in the 60s Spider-Man, was Friar Tuck.
Yeah.
Len Berman was the voice of Rocket Robin Hood. It says Len Carlson subbed for Berman in some third season episodes. Carl Banas was the voice of Titanor and Dr. Manta. And Ed McNamara was the voice of Little John, and Chris Wiggins is the voice of Will Scarlet. All of whom, every last one of those people, were voices on the Marvel Superheroes cartoon.
Yep.
Because that's another connection. There are many connections between all three shows. Well, mainly the two shows we're going to talk about. Hercules is kind of its own universe, but Spider-Man, this, and Marvel Superheroes. Because when Stan was trying to get these cartoons made, Stan Lee, he made a good deal with Hanna-Barbera for Fantastic Four, because that's Hanna-Barbera. But the company he went with for Spider-Man was a real fly-by-night fucking company. And that fly-by-night company was absorbed into Krantz, which just so happens the soon-to-be legendary Ralph Bakshi was working for at the time doing children's cartoons.
Yeah.
Now, here's the connection that I made, and we're going to be talking about this throughout the show. All of these voices, or a lot of them, see here. Bannis played the head elf on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Soles, who plays Marcus, and he plays Peter Parker on Spider-Man, was Hermie. Cohen was the Abominable Snowman. Kligman was Donner and Coach Comet, who I could still do my Coach Comet after Rudolph's fake nose falls off. And Comet comes over, he's like, all right, boys, we're not going to let Rudolph play any more of our reindeer games. And as a kid, I was like, what a fucking asshole. And so, also, and I'm going to jump ahead to my Spider-Man notes here. Oh, I got to find them. Hold on one sec.
Yeah, I read about the Rudolph connection.
The Rudolph connection. That's what I was talking about. So Peg Dixon, who's in Spider-Man, was Miss all the females pretty much, and she's all the females on the cartoon. She was Mrs. Claus on Rudolph, and more, even bigger, there was Alfie Scop, who was the no kid wants to buy a Charlie in the box.
Yeah.
And Fireball. But the biggest one, she was on Spider-Man 2, was Billy Mae Richards, who was Rudolph. And then continued to be Rudolph in all like Rudolph's Shiny New Year and Rudolph and Frosty and all of that. So what my theory presupposes is, Kelly.
Okay.
What did Ralph Bakshi get a shot at doing Rudolph? Can you imagine a Ralph Bakshi Rudolph going full Fritz the Cat style on fucking Rudolph?
I'll show you my red nose is down here.
Go fuck yourself, Santa. That blew my mind when I saw it, because Rankin and Bass, or at least Rankin, I think is Canadian, because in doing my research, again, all of these actors, pretty much all of them, were in, what is it? They were in a TV movie. It might have been released. I'm not sure. I think it's black and white, called Willie McBean and His Magic Machine, that I've never heard of, and everyone is in this. But there's also a show I'd never heard of, and I'm assuming you have, from the 60s, Canadian show called RCMP.
Well, I mean, the RCMP is our national
Right, but
force.
this is a 1960s cop show.
Okay.
Basically, of the
wow,
Mounties.
so like the
and
Canadian
every
version of
single,
Dragnet.
every single voice actor pretty much that I saw on this was in an episode or two of RCMP, which is amazing.
Now, see, Johnny, you're truly a Canadian now. You know more about Canadian TV than I do.
Well, that's one of the fun parts for me doing this show, because I mean, I'm such as anyone knows who's been watching, I'm such a sucker for voice actors and the history of voice acting, and this is untapped material. I was in hog heaven doing research for this one, which was what I want to recommend at this time. There's a great documentary that came out a few years back called I Know That Voice, that was produced by John DiMaggio, who does Bender and tons of other things. And I cannot recommend it enough. I've watched it 3 times. It's my feel good go-to thing to watch, because it's everything I'm interested in, and it's just a really fun, great documentary.
Cool.
So you want to get to the plot of this crazy fucking episode? Yeah,
and it's going to be the plot for also the Spider-Man cartoon. I don't know if you want to bring this up now, the connections.
Yeah, sure.
So we don't repeat ourselves too much.
Sure. Let me just see, viewers. I assume we were doing this in a different order, so now my notes are all over the fucking place.
I threw Johnny.
Here it is. That's fine. The Spider-Man episodes, Phantom from the Depths of Time, and specifically the one we're going to be talking about, Revolt in the Fifth Dimension, were largely recycled animation from 2 episodes of Rocket Robin Hood, From Menace to Menace, and what we're about to talk about, Dementia 5.
Dementia 5.
What a great title, by the
Yes.
way. Dementia 5 seems that weird for a children's cartoon.
Yeah, I immediately think of Dementia 13, which was Francis Ford Coppola's, I believe, his
That's
first
exactly
movie.
Coppola worked on this under an assumed name, actually.
And it's got a great little music clip when they do the intertitles.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The rest.
The music in this is pretty great, I have to say.
Yes.
But what they did was they substitute Spider-Man for Rocket Robin Hood on the animation cells and almost use the exact same dialogue.
Mhm.
It's wild. When I
It's
saw that, when I read this on the notes, Cal, I was like, okay, I wonder how much exactly. And then when I watched this first, and then when I turned on Spider-Man this afternoon, I was like, I'm just watching the same cartoon.
Yes.
This is the exact same fucking cartoon, except with a few minor differences, and Spider-Man just by himself.
Yeah.
But they're still using
Yeah.
they're still using plurals, because in this it's Robin Hood and Little John.
Yeah. That was beautiful how they were able to reuse that dialogue. But all the non-Spider-Man scenes are exactly the same in Rocket Robin Hood and Spider-Man.
Yeah. At one point in the Spider-Man one, and we'll talk about it now, when Infinata is addressing Spider-Man and says something like, "Who are you, boy?" which
Yes.
is original dialogue, that is a completely different voice actor.
Yes, and I that's why I isolated this clip.
Who is this flying boy? What right has he to interfere in my conquest of the universe? I will destroy him.
What's that laughing? What's going on?
Cannot escape Infinata.
See?
I'm going through some sort of force field. Impossible, but it's happening. I'm out of control. I've got to stop it. Stop it.
Drama.
But you can hear it right there.
Yeah.
In that scene, Infinata at first, that's the new Infinata voice just for that line of dialogue.
Yeah.
Because then the next time you hear him, that's from the original recording, and it's much deeper voice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool.
Well, I've got a lot more on Spider-Man for after this,
Yeah.
but let's talk about the plot of Dementia 5.
Yes.
Okay, so the Kamoza galaxy is being exploded by Infinata over here. And he lives in Dementia 5, the 5th dimension. And I guess one of these little alien scientists discovered all this information on how to defeat him. And so he's currently blowing up their entire galaxy and their entire civilization. So there's a lot of death in this, which took me by surprise.
Yeah.
For a children's cartoon.
Very dark.
So these two little aliens, they take all of their books of the Great Library of Gorth and put them on a conveyor belt. And he's like, and then I turn this 100 tons of wisdom and we turn them into these tapes. And then we take these tapes and we turn them into cosmic energy. And then we turn the cosmic energy into this little red bouncy ball. I was like, wow, that's a lot of steps as your entire civilization is being destroyed. So this one alien, Athon, says goodbye to his soon-to-be dead buddy. And he escapes the galaxy in his rocket ship. And Infinata can sense him escaping and knows what he's up to with his ESP. They use ESP in this a lot, but completely using it wrong. ESP is not mind reading.
No. But it was the 60s. They didn't know.
Okay.
I guess.
So he sends his henchmen, who are like these ghost frogs, I guess they're called the Psycho Army.
The Psycho Army, yes. And here's the next clip when he sends the Psycho Army out to get the little man.
Blast! He has the Library of Goth aboard. Stop him! Stop him! Have the Psycho Army project their thought destruction waves at that rocket.
That quote is, have the Psycho Army project their thought destruction waves at that comet.
I mean, come on. That's art right there.
That's Shakespeare.
Shakespearean level. That's also the Psycho Army definitely sounds like a lucha libre faction, right?
Yeah, totally wrestling related. Yeah.
I mean, we should pitch Boom on the Psycho Army.
Psycho Army,
right? I know Travis is watching this right now. Travis, I'm looking right at you, bud. Psycho Army.
Yeah.
You're welcome. It's all yours. He's a little Canadian, a little inside Canadian for you. It's perfect.
Yeah. I think we have a good shot. This will be the first thing we pitch to Boom that gets used.
Now, I've been pitching lots of shit, but I'm not getting that fireball anytime soon. So how about Psycho Army? So this little guy turns his ship into a meteor with his magnets, and he's gonna crash. There he is. That's Athon. I like the design.
Yeah,
it's very Kirby-esque.
Yeah, totally. From like the early '60s sci-fi monster stuff that Kirby was doing, and just this whole plot is like from that, or from like a DC comic from the '60s. With all
it feels like
different alien races. Yeah,
especially with the big surprise.
Yes.
And also these are all shown in like these little 5-minute shorts.
Yes.
And we just watched them all put together, but there was like 4 little cliffhangers because these were like 5-minute short movies.
Well, because you could do them, and it's the same with Hercules that we'll be talking about later.
Right.
You could do them in 2 different ways. You could either show them in a half-hour block as the full episode, or you could use them in different cartoon shows that had just a bunch of 5-minute shorts throughout, right? And so then it would be like a weekly serial for Rocket Robin.
Yeah, but in syndication though, they'd fuck all that up. They would never get them in the same order. I watch stuff on some of the streaming. Like there's a streaming Star Trek channel that just shows Star Trek all day long, and sometimes you're watching Next Generation. It's like, oh, it's a season 6 one, and the next one's a season 1 one, and just jumps them all around.
Yeah.
So they can't get it right in 2026. Back then, no way.
Oh, really? No, I think the craftsmanship was maybe better in the 60s.
Okay. Yeah. The head of your local UHF station is like, why are we showing Rocket Robin Hood out of order? Who am I firing? So he crash lands. He's going to crash land on the Sherwood asteroid. And so Robin Hood radios Friar Tuck and Scarlet to move the planet. And they just push some buttons and the planet moves and it avoids it. And then it turns out, it's Teeny Tiny. He's a little guy, a little squirt, as both Little John calls him and Spider-Man does. I love they kept that.
Yep.
Give that for Spider-Man. He's just a little squirt. He's a little dead squirt because next thing you know, he's using ESP.
Yeah.
To let him know what's up. And then it cuts.
Yeah.
That's the cliffhanger. And when it comes back, Robin is like, well, he's dead.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Died off camera death.
He died during the commercial. It's so funny. And so they're going to take the little red ball with the Library of Gorth in it to Cosmic Command Center or something.
Yeah, like the Federation of Planets or whatever.
Hey, that's Star Trek. Buddy.
I know. So the equivalent.
Tread easily, bud. Right around the same time that Star Trek's on the air, that's 67. So
yeah, for sure.
So Robin Hood puts it in his ring. He has a ring, of course.
Luckily, has a little compartment in his ring.
But also Spider-Man, Matt, somehow has a ring.
It's even more fortunate that Spider-Man had his cereal box top giveaway ring or something.
When Spider-Man puts it in his ring, I burst out laughing. I was like,
he's like, well, we could do some new animation and have him put it in his belt. Nah.
Nope.
Nah, he's got a ring. He's always had a ring. Spider-Man always has a ring.
It's so funny. So off Robin Hood and Little John go to deliver that, and then Infinata sucks them into Dementia 15. And like I said, it's a fucking acid trip. The quick cuts of the camera, more so in this than in Spider-Man. The quick cuts between shots is truly trippy. Like, so they're getting down at the Be-In. The Dead are on stage right now at the Be-In in San Francisco. But it'd be stuff like this or something really dark and shadowy, and then like a quick cut, like a flash.
Yeah.
Like
randomly a cat.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's so weird. That doesn't make it to the Spider-Man. The cat image doesn't make it to the Spider-Man.
No, this one's far weirder.
Yeah.
Far weirder. Yeah,
It looks like our old...
Stan Lee saw it. Stan Lee saw it, and he was like, "What the fuck is with the? Hey, true believer, what the fuck is up with the cat?"
It looks very much like our late cat Salem. We had a black cat for years. Yeah, so much so. But yeah, that was so random. I do have the audio of the trip sequence.
Yeah, here we go.
So here we go. It's
literally this is like Peter Fonda's movie of The Trip.
Starts out.
Are you computerizing our exact position at all times, Little John?
This is very important.
Yeah. Well, what's so important? Just do it. I'll explain later. And make sure you are accurate down to a scale of 100 feet.
Feet? When I'm used to dealing in light years.
What's so funny? That's not me.
Cannot escape Infinata.
Robin Hood is kind of all over Little John in this episode, too.
Yeah, right.
Dementia 5.
The choice of these tunics as costumes is so strange.
Well, it's supposed to be futuristic.
The controls are going crazy.
But no arrows at all. Like, what makes them? I guess. Yes,
in other episodes, they are. There's arrows.
They're making basically leading a resistance against the sheriff.
Little John, we're going beyond the speed of light.
But yes, no, he doesn't have a bow and arrow and a quiver.
Ominous drum.
Get the last reading from the computer. But why? Just do it, mister.
Well, Little John just ought to learn to take orders and stop questioning orders.
Just do it, mister.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking of all the other times he's said that to him. You show me, you want me to put it in there with no lube? Let's do it, mister.
Yeah, and it begins.
Holy shit. So, God damn, I was laughing so hard I put down the fucking notes. Okay, here we go.
So they're officially now in Dementia 5.
Yes, they're now in oh yes, the golden sexy handshake. So they go to the top of these stairs. What are they called? They're like the Stairway of Mystery.
Yes. He has a specific name. Infinata does.
But the door had one too. Take the Stairway of Mystery to the door of doom.
Yeah.
And it's literally creepy. This golden hand with long nails. The long nails. When Robin goes to shake it to open it, and I saw the nails, it actually disturbed me this afternoon. I was like, oh.
And it's doing like the come here.
Yeah. But just having to have your hand in that looks like, ugh. And then it grabs them both in a very sexual yet violent nature. It pulls them into.
There's a lot of vibrating with Little John behind. Robin Hood.
A quick back and forth going on before they're sucked into the glory hole.
Just do it, mister.
So they confront Infinata, and he uses X-ray vision to make sure that they didn't keister it. because he's looking for the little ball, but clearly it's not on it's either of their persons. Now,
Yes.
when he does the same thing to Spider-Man, he also says persons to Spider-Man, which is wonderful. Spider-Man, I think here's the thing, they re-recorded the Spider-Man lines are all new. But they just used the same script for the scene because Spider-Man says, well, we just need to do this so we can escape. I was like, who are you talking to? They didn't even change the pronouns.
These dumb kids won't know the difference.
That's honestly, yeah, of course. No one's giving flying shit about any of this. So suddenly there's these, like, I thought they were vines, but then they turn into snakes, and the snake steals the ring. But again, the ring's not in there. So, oh no, not the ring. The little library is not in the ring. And then suddenly the red rug turns to like quicksand, and they're sinking, and they don't know what to do. And Robin Hood like closes his eyes, and all of a sudden it's a quick flash. It's like boom of him and Little John hurtling through space. And he goes, wait a minute. And we have to close our eyes. Just do it, mister. Because he asks, why do I want to close my eyes? Sure, I'll do it. And if I was like, no, he's like, this is all an illusion. This is a world of illusion or something. None of it makes a lick of sense, but who cares? Because it's fucking crazy weird. And they close their eyes and boom, they're floating through space and they're rescued just in time. We're told that President Morgan. So there's a democracy, yet they're also fighting the kingdom. I want to know all about the politics of Rocket Robin Hood right now.
I know.
To be perfectly honest with you,
Oh,
it sounds very complicated.
I guess it's not Canada's future because it would be Prime Minister Morgan, not President Morgan. But luck can change in 1,000 years.
Yeah, And President Morgan is telling us, well, good thing he's telling that it's a good thing they found them before they ran out of oxygen. And by the way, President Morgan, and I realize this is 67, so this is not on purpose at all, but he sounds just like Nixon. It's so funny. He says, it's a good thing we got you out of there in time.
It's Nixon's frozen head, like in Futurama.
Pretty much.
Or not Robin Hood, floating head in the water.
Yes. So Robin Hood has Little John use their grappling hook because they go, Little John, that the spot I told you to use the computer for, we need to go to it now. Okay, Robin. And they use their grappling hook. He's like, why? I'm just pulling out a fucking arrow out of space. Aha, but the library's in the arrow. Now, that's funny because when the fuck did that happen? I mean, when was there time for it? In Spider-Man, he hides it in web shooter, which makes more sense. But if it was in his web shooter, when he got X-rayed, wouldn't he have seen it in his web shooter? Kelly, I'm ready to just quit over all this bullshit. I've had it.
I know. It's too much to ask for my suspension of disbelief.
But yeah, I can see why kids love this. I can see why it could be a beloved show. For me, seeing it for the very first time, I appreciated its utter weirdness. I mean, it's not good, but much of what we watch isn't good. Doesn't have to be good. The cartoons, there's so many of the cartoons of our youth, and even the ones in syndication, that we love just because they existed at a certain time in our lives.
Yeah.
And but just the weirdness and the psychedelic shit is worth checking these out, I think.
Oh yeah, no. The next time we're together, John, we're gonna take some gummies and we're gonna watch a bunch of Rocket Robin Hood.
Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention, we talked about it before we were on the show. The Rocket Robin Hood song was Johnny Nash, who, I wrote it down here somewhere, but anywho, he had a hit in the 50s, which I was not aware of.
Right, I read this morning.
Yeah, and
known mostly for I Can See Clearly.
I Can See Clearly Now. One of my one of my top 20 songs of all time.
Oh,
One of,
wow.
like there's no way you cannot hear I Can See Clearly Now and not smile. It's one of the happiest, best songs of all time. And that he was the guy doing that theme is wild. Sorry if I brought that up already, but speaking of gummies,
Well, I mean, he
just won this.
he does the theme for Hercules. Does he do the theme?
Oh, that's
for...
Hercules.
Yeah.
See, okay, I blew it.
That's fine. That's fine. That's
No.
why I'm here, Johnny. I'm the
Okay, you know what we
quality
need?
control guy.
Yeah, no, we need the drop. We need the drop of De Niro telling us Stallone, "You blew it" from Copland. You blew it. You blew it.
At
Oh,
first,
don't
I
give you-
thought, oh, maybe it was.
No,
but then
I got it all wrong.
Anyway.
My notes are all combobulated.
That's okay. It's okay.
They don't give you enough napkins with these things. You blew it.
So one last thing on Rocket Robin Hood from me, anyway. From this screen grab I have, you can see a watermark that says retro, and it's Teletoon Retro, which was a short-lived Canadian cable channel.
Okay. We
Yeah,
had one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The equivalent of it here was Boomerang,
Okay.
which was we had Cartoon Network,
Mhm.
and then there was Boomerang, and Boomerang showed nothing but retro stuff from the 60s.
Okay. Yeah, because in Canada, in the late 90s, we got Teletoon, which was our first all animated cable channel. And it would show old cartoons at first, too. That was where they started showing the 67 Spider-Mans again. But then eventually they spun it off and did Teletoon Retro and just, of course, did the retro cartoons. And Teletoon was then more like the modern stuff. But Teletoon still exists, but Teletoon Retro is long gone. But so that's where this comes from.
I'm not sure. I'd have to check, but if cable, I mean, there's cable satellite still exists. I think Cartoon Network is still there.
Yeah,
I'm
as
not
far as
sure
I
if
know.
Boomerang still is.
Yeah, maybe
But
not.
Boomerang was the great man who filmed his TV so we could watch the Super Skull.
Yes, yeah.
That was on Boomerang.
That was Boomerang.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so let's tie things up with
Yeah, it was-
Spidey.
All right.
The Revolt in the Fifth Dimension, and I do have the awesome intro to this. There's so much great Spider-Man music, the jazzy stuff in the background, that it's hard to pick, just one. But so I just went with the intro. But it's freaking great. It makes me want to run through a brick wall. It's so awesome.
Oh, what was that?
Charge!
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, what was that, Elon? I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. So Revolt in the Fifth Dimension. It's the difference between the first season of Spider-Man and the second and third. It's like night and day, literally, because the first season is all in daylight during the day, so brightly lit. Everything is pretty, like, even the villains aren't that nefarious or dangerous. But then the second and third season, everything is at night pretty much, and just with all kinds of psychedelic colors and shit. Love that stuff.
And I, as a little kid, I hated it.
Me too.
I hated it.
I know. It's funny they usually didn't have the classic villains. That was the main offense.
What I read was the Kingpin was used twice in those.
Yes, and it was an adaptation of the Kingpin's first appearance and subsequent issues. That was good, but most of the time you had episodes like this, science fiction based. And as a kid, I was like, Spider-Man doesn't go into outer space and fight aliens.
Yeah,
That's not Spider-Man.
and as a little kid, I didn't like the vibe. I didn't like the way it made me feel. And but also the little nerd in me, even at that time, and I'll tell you how young I was when I started watching that show. I was like, where are the bad guys?
Yeah.
there was Scorpion, there was Green Goblin, there was Doc Ock, and now it's just these weird green guys every time. There was even one time where there's Mysterio, but they redesigned him as another green guy.
Yeah, just a guy with green skin.
And so let me back up a little bit. Okay, because I want to give you my background with this show. So it's got to be kindergarten, first grade, maybe somewhere around there, maybe even kindergarten. My buddy down the street, Scott Naylor, comes find me. I was playing outside. He comes find me. He's like, and he tells me about this amazing thing called UHF that he just discovered. That little kids, the UHF knob. What the fuck's this? Oh, there's more channels here. And at the time where we lived, there were maybe 4, and there was a bunch of numbers. You go click, 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 click. But there was Philly 17, where also that's what Crockett was on many years later. There was Philly 29. At the time, there was there was a channel 48. There's probably the Spanish channel and maybe another one. But he told me about this channel and this whole concept. I believe it was channel 29 or 17. And he's like, they got these cartoons. There's this one about this kid. He's a race car driver.
Speed racer.
It was Speed Racer. And he goes, and there's another one about they're in the water, which is a show called Marine Boy, which I still remember a bit of the theme song from.
Really?
And then he looks at me and he goes, and man, there's a Spider-Man cartoon. And I was like,
what?
The fuck? What? No. And it was not. He's like, it tells me once. And the next day I rush home. I'm fucking around and I managed to get in the signal and I discovered the fucking Spider-Man cartoon and Speed Racer and Marine Boy, but the Spider-Man cartoon. And my mind was blown. It was like an entire new world that opened up for me. And I was already a huge Spider-Man fan at that time. And I loved that show. The song is the best fucking song. One of the best songs of all time is the Spider-Man theme song.
Of course.
But I didn't watch it for long. It either went away or I did grow out of it. But when it would be these episodes, as a little kid, I'd physically feel bad. Like, ugh.
I know.
Oh, I don't like it. Just now, some of those are pretty fucking wild and cool. But this has to be 3rd season, I would imagine.
Yes.
There's a story to that. Where they're just like, we don't have any money and we need to make, I think, 18 more episodes so this can go into syndication.
Yeah. Recycling, Rocket Robin Hood animation. Yeah, for me, I mean, I don't even remember being told like you about the Spider-Man cartoon. I just remember it being part of my life right from the beginning. I think it was my gateway drug to comic books. I'm pretty sure because it was on every day. And in Canada, UHF, I don't think is something that ever existed. I can remember the TVs we had when I was a kid had the UHF knob on them. And I remember wondering, what's this? What are these numbers? Why doesn't this work?
Oh, I see.
But Spider-Man was just on regular. It would have been CTV, I think. It was on my memories. My prime memory of it is it being on when I would come home for lunch from school in elementary school, and it would be on during that lunch hour. Monday to Friday, all through the 80s. And like Hercules, I think was still going on CTV in the early 90s.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so the Spider-Man cartoon was just a constant part of my life growing up, even though as I got older, I had seen every episode a billion times and probably didn't watch it as often, but it was still there. And yeah, like I said, my gateway drug was this and the Hulk TV show that was on at the same time. And because there was Hulk toys, there was still the Mego. I had some of those as a very young kid, the Hulk Mego, and I think I had the Spider-Man one with the helicopter deal.
Oh, I had the Spider-Man one. I had the Spider-Man web shooter.
Yeah.
The with
Yeah.
the sucker dart thing.
Yeah.
But it had a string attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my story with the Spider-Man cartoon.
I keep wondering what my gateway was, because it wasn't this, because I was so crazy. And I remember the comics, but there was also, I wonder if for me it might have been the Electric Company, because I watched the Electric Company when I was very little.
Yeah, me too.
And because we had the block of Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, and the Electric Company on PBS. And the Electric Company was my favorite, obviously, because it was the coolest one and the most fun. And it had Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Now,
with the
looking
mute,
back,
they mute like French mime Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's all for little itty bitty kids. We're gonna be in a future episode. We're gonna be watching a few of those. By the way.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a whole Spider-Man episode.
Okay, so but this show in particular, I've got a few notes. So that fly-by-night production company was called Grand Trey Lawrence Productions. And they were on the brink of bankruptcy when the show had premiered.
Well, it was comics in the 60s. All you have to do is open them up and look at what kind of ads were in the comics to tell you where, like, the status of comic books at that time.
Well, like I said, Stan made a poor choice because Fantastic Four was Hanna-Barbera. Spider-Man was popular. Spider-Man was a hot property in 1967, and he went with this fly-by-night company. Do you imagine if Hanna-Barbera had gotten their hands on Spider-Man at this time?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the first season is beloved. The second and third season as an adult, I appreciate much more.
I see. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
From my perspective, because I'll watch these and I'll appreciate the botchy art and the backgrounds, but I still just inherently hate them.
I mean, it's better than the Marvel superheroes lips moving.
I like those better.
Really?
I like those better.
I mean, as a kid, I thought they were cheesy. I mean, I don't know.
You know why I like them better? Because they literally were just the pages of the comic book. I'm like, cool.
I know.
That's
yeah,
what I want.
But
cool.
Like the second and third season of Spider-Man, I've come to appreciate them as an adult because I love the comics that they take the animation from. But as a kid, I felt like I was like being ripped off or something that I could tell. Well, it's just still pictures. They're not even moving, you know. But anyway, but that was a cheap company. Like that's my point. It wasn't Hanna-Barbera. Yeah.
So anywho, so they filed for bankruptcy in 1968 after season 1. So they had to force them to hand over production to Krantz Films. And that's got Ralph Bakshi in charge. And that's why the show takes a darker tone in season 2. It's very psychedelic. There's a greater focus on Peter Parker's social life, which I didn't care about when I was 6.
No, neither did I.
but it wasn't Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane. It was new characters. If it had been Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy, I would have been fine with it.
Yeah, I want to say the main love or romantic interest was named Susan Shaw. I just read this again.
Yes, I think that sounds right.
Yeah.
It says fewer comic villains used and more generic green skin villains. So one notable exception, as we said, was the Kingpin. After season 2 ended, the series continued to air on our beloved ABC Saturday morning lineup until August 30th, 1969, when it was dropped by the network after 39 episodes. For the show to have a successful run in syndication, a minimum of 52 was needed. So after 1 year, third season of 13 episodes was commissioned for production and slated to air in first run syndication. But Krantz Films was now running low on money and had the budget slashed even lower than it was in season 2. As a result, many of the episodes in season 3 had heavily recycled animation footage from season 1 and 2 episodes and just added in new dialogue. Also, Spider-Man is often heard saying the expression, and I remember this. I hadn't remembered this until I read this. Walloping web snappers on the show. And of course, it was created for the cartoon. And even as a little kid, he doesn't say that. That's stupid. 6-year-old me is like walloping web snappers.
That's not Stanley dialogue.
Dumb. That's not Stanley. But so of this, real quick, the voice cast. all these names you already heard me mention. So from Rocket Robin, Paul Kligman, Paul Souls, Peg Dixon, Tom Harvey, Len Carlson, Henry Raymer, Cal Banis, Alfie Scott, Cohen, McNamara, Wiggins, Fenwick, Max Ferguson, and Claude Ray and Vern Chapman, all of whom are various voices on this, but also voices on the aforementioned Marvel superheroes. So we really tapped into this not underground, but third level bunch of voice actors in the business who were their own troupe and Canadian.
Yeah, all from the Toronto area, more or less.
Yeah, which I find so interesting. Mm-hmm. But looking at the plot, I'm like, it's the exact same plot, just with Spider-Man in it.
Yeah.
And there's one bit of difference. While the meteor's plummeting to the city, I actually tried to, and I lost count. How many times are they going to recycle the same swinging scenes
they would
over?
I know.
And over. They went through all of them 6 times. Like, it's always funny when it's the one where he has 2 webs and he's coming in on with both hands up.
Yes. And the joke is we got older. We'd be like, where are the webs? What are they? They're not attached to anything. Clouds?
They're attached to angels.
Yeah, because they're obviously not attached to buildings.
No, he's about half a mile above the city, swinging on his fucking webs.
So, yeah, we would always joke, oh, yeah, they're just attached to clouds.
But the way the animation is so cheap. Obviously, he only has webs on his head and his gloves because they can't do the whole fucking outfit. It takes too much time and it's too expensive. But the loping of the swings through the city, I always thought they made unique choices on that. I thought it looked good. Like, yeah, that looks like a guy swinging around on a fucking web, you know?
Yeah, the very, it's very athletic or whatever, smooth, where he does that one swing with the legs, you know what I mean? Yeah. Very beautiful.
Okay, I need to break into the show. Just got an alert from young Travis Wild Eyes Walashin at the Boom Show tonight, pre-show, where the legendary Tito Santana is making an appearance. He has informed me that there are lots of Tito fans at the Boombox. So
yeah, I got that text too.
He's a draw. Okay.
Yeah, there he is working his merch table.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just copies of his Teacher of the Year certificates in New Jersey. I feel like,
he's got his Strike First t-shirt on. Yeah. I was at a show. I was at the one at the Commodore last year. Got to meet him, shake his hand, get a quick pic with him. Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, that's all I got for Spider-Man.
Okay. I just have this one image is the parallel from the Rocket Robin.
There we go. He's getting down.
Yeah. Because like we've talked about, the animation, the non-Spider-Man scenes are the exact same animation, same dialogue, same audio. But then they had, of course, because Spider-Man's in it, they had to use him in some of the scenes. And so this was one that was taken from Rocket Robin Hood, not the exact same look, but basically the same thing.
It gives you a very interesting look at how animation was done, to know that, oh, these are layers on plastic.
Yeah.
And here's the Spider-Man one. This is the old background we use for that. We just put it on top and take away the Robin Hood one. And there you go. And it looks like one continuous shot to us. But that background, that you put a bunch of spooky eyes around that. That's from the first season of Scooby-Doo. Where Are You?
Right.
It looks remarkably similar.
Yeah. And there's the scene where Spider-Man grabs the hand in the door. They do that one again, and a few others.
The snake steals the ring off his spider ring off his finger.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone knows he's got his amazing spider ring. Yeah. I do have one bit of audio. This is where Paul Souls, I believe, tells on himself that he's Canadian. Listen carefully.
It was lost when you pulled me into this world of yours, buddy.
We now we just need an example of them adding a to the end of the sentence.
Infinata is like, insolent pest, eh?
It was lost when you pulled me into this world of yours, buddy.
That's why Spider-Man was considered CanCon.
Yeah, you had to have certain words used.
Because I can't. We mentioned about before the show, but
yes,
the reason why all three of the shows that we're talking about today were still on in the 90s in Canada is because it met the requirement.
Yeah,
the CanCon requirement.
Yeah, that's probably that's probably the reson why Spider-Man.
No, that's what I
lasted. Yeah,
I done read it on the internet the other day.
Yeah. Because like Spider-Man was popular. I don't know if it would needed to have the CanCon boost, but maybe by the late 80s.
Spider-Man's giving CanCon the boost because it's Spider-Man.
But I mean, like I thought, like Spider-Man would be so popular, you wouldn't need to justify it by saying, "Well, we need Canadian content. We'll use the 60s Spider-Man card."
Well, no, it's just convenient.
But
you'd show it. But look, it's convenient. But I know there's not that many differences between our two lands. I mean, the fact the Spider-Man cartoon being on a major channel in the 90s in America is unheard of.
Yeah. And another main difference between our two lands is this bad boy.
Oh boy, the Mighty Hercules.
And the longevity that this cartoon had in the Great White North.
It's fascinating to me how long this ran in Canada, given that it's a show that was made in New York, but it was, again, mainly a Canadian production that was in syndication in Canada forever, from the early 1960s to what?
Early 90s.
Early 90s.
And then it was on Teletoon. It was on YTV, which was a kind of a kids channel that showed a lot of old cartoons. So it kept going. But yeah, it was on like Spider-Man Monday to Friday. In Canada, or in Calgary, where I grew up at least, it was on in the morning before you went to school. You'd always get to see Hercules, and then there was some other cartoons. There was a Wizard of Oz cartoon.
I did look. I saw that mentioned.
One?
The adventures of the Wizard. I don't know, something like that.
Maybe that was another Canadian.
It is. I looked up.
Yeah,
I have a.
That makes sense. It's
I have
also
it right
from
here.
the 60s. Yeah,
I have it right here. I
that
actually
was
looked
the block that I remember. It was Hercules.
Okay, I just looked up.
Yeah.
Let's run through these and see how many of them you know. It is 1960s Canadian children's TV shows.
Okay.
Adventure Time, which is funny because not the one we know.
No.
The Bananas.
The Bananas.
Barney Boomer.
Boomer.
Bobino. No. This I know. The Buckshot Show.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a Calgary specific, like a Captain Kangaroo kids type show.
Yes, I've heard you guys talk about that.
Yeah.
Butternut Square.
So you're going alphabetically.
Yeah, there's not a lot. A Caravan, Cartoon Party, Chez Helene, Frauenfraulouche, The Forest Rangers, The Friendly Giant, Harrigan.
Oh, Friendly Giant is iconic in Canada.
Okay, Friendly Giant's a big one.
Yeah.
Okay. Harrigan, High Diddle Day, Holiday Edition, Junior Magazine, Just Mary, The Littlest Hobo.
Yes, of course, also iconic.
Maggie Muggins, Max the 2,000-year-old mouse.
Hercules. We
Minnow on the Say, Mrs. Dress Up, Mr. Dress Up.
Mr. Dress Up. Be careful. There was no Mr. Dress Up was legit on for, I think, 4 decades or something like that.
Mr. Piper, The Mystery Maker, Nursery School Time, something from Quebec I can't pronounce, Razzle Dazzle, Story Seat, Sunshine Canada, Tales of the Riverbank, Tales of the Wizard of Oz, Tidewater Tramp, Time for Sunday School, Tiny Talent Time, and Uncle Bobby. And I just Uncle Bobby. I want to just, I'm manifesting that young Wild Eyes Travis Woloshyn got his first taste of show business by being on Tiny Talent Time. that it ran for decades.
There was a show, a Calgary specific show called Kid Street. It was like a kids game show. Travis never got on it, but I wonder if he like auditioned, because years later, I met a girl that when she was young was on it with her sister.
Oh, wow.
So it was, and a lot of people, I wasn't one of them, but a lot of people were on Buckshot because it was always this kindergarten class goes in, you know. But
my ex-wife was on Wonderama, which was broadcast out of New York. And it had been around forever. And it was a Sunday morning cartoons and kids doing the contests and all kinds of wild stuff. There's a contest where the kids had to jump up and down on a balloon and get it to break, and the first one to do it and get a prize. And she told me that she broke down crying because she couldn't break the fucking balloon. It was a live television.
Oh, God.
And
yeah.
And she had a fit because she couldn't break the goddamn balloon.
I know they would never allow certain things like that again these days.
Anywho,
yeah, let's talk some Hercules.
So originally ran from 63 to 66. Each standalone episode is about 5.5 minutes. And like we said, they could put them together any which way. Adventure Cartoon Productions made the Mighty Hercules in connection with the Translux Television, the same company that later brought Speed Racer to the United States.
Yep.
Jackie Miller, also known as a creator and writer for DC Comics, wrote many of the episodes. The show featured 2 different sets of voices for the characters, and there's no gradual change of the voices. Most of the early episodes have the first set of voices, the rest have the second set. And in the 7th episode during the first season, Double Trouble, the voices actually changed during the episode.
Yeah, I read that this morning.
That's crazy.
For me, I mostly remember the second set of voices.
Well, yeah, because that was the ones that were on for most episodes. But
yeah,
this was fascinating. In the early episodes of the first season, Hercules was voiced by David Hartman, who would go on to be the host of Good Morning America.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Forever.
Was he? Okay, wow.
For a long, long time. We never watched it. We were a Today Show family. Right. It was NBC, so we didn't watch the
household. Yeah.
We were kind of an NBC household when it came to the news, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The Mighty Hercules, the voice of Mighty Hercules went to then Jimmy Tapp.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it interesting that whenever they say who was the voice, they try to erase David Hartman from the history. Is there some bad blood between genial host of Good Morning America, David Hartman, and the Translux Corporation?
I don't know. But Tapp, of course, was from Montreal, so he's Canadian. So it's probably the Canadian boosters that are trying to get him recognized as the one true Hercules.
Especially because he hosted Good Morning America. I get it.
That too, yes.
Mm-hmm. But Jimmy Tapp was a Canadian TV and radio personality and game show host who started on the airwaves in the 1940s for CBC Radio. So that guy sounds like he had a fascinating career.
Yeah.
Newton, the very annoying centaur child.
Annoying, yes.
Was originally played by the one and only Jack Mercer, going back to Popeye.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Wow.
And he was replaced by a guy named Gary Bascombe. And the voice actress for all the females is a woman named Helene Nickerson. Again, the theme song is Johnny Nash. That's I already ruined. But
well, let's not wait any longer. We'll play that bad boy because it's
it's something else.
Iconic.
It's something else.
Hercules, hero of song and story. Hercules, winner of ancient glory, fighting for the right, fighting with his might, with the strength of 10 ordinary men. Hercules, people are safe when near him. Hercules, only the evil fear him. Softness in his eyes, iron in his thighs, virtue in his heart. fire in every part of the
What?
mighty
Every part.
That takes a weird fucking turn. When it goes, it's iron in his thighs.
Yes.
Johnny Nash just needed something that fucking rhymed. He sung the shit out of that, but iron in his thighs, fire in every part. Hello.
We'll be talking about this later about
I can see clearly.
Yeah, how in the early 90s, I was a teenager and we were starting to get what irony was all about. So watching this show with those eyes.
Oh, that must have been a blast.
Oh, it was. It was. But we'll save that for just a smidge later, I think.
So also, apparently Bruce Timm,
yes,
I don't patterned the look of the animated series Superman after Hercules.
Yeah. So there's Herc.
I mean, you can see it right there. That's
yeah. Oh, that's totally. I'll give you a Bruce Timm image for comparison. But yeah, it's obviously, and he's of course credited it as the inspiration. So that's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
It's lived on through Superman. Yeah, I mean it's totally
right there, yeah.
Taken right from it, the eyes, the jaw, the hair, everything.
That's the super cool thing. Shit, I love finding out doing this show. Right? Because like someone in there was like, well, Hercules was clearly designed to look like Superman, which is possible. Superman is a major pop icon.
Yep.
At this time, but the fact that Tim is going on record saying, no, this is what I designed him to look like is pretty great.
Yeah, you can definitely see the Superman influence, like just the muscles and the look. Like it's not like any kind of accuracy to the Greek mythology or anything, I don't believe. Definitely doesn't have the Marvel look with the beard and all that. I don't know if that was taken from mythology or what, but
oh yeah, of course someone in the IMDb was like, did the version of they showed him as he fights for right and uses his might and is a good guy, but if you really look at the myths, he was not a good person. He murdered his wife and children, and he ate and drank too much. I was like, what kind of fucking lunatic goes into the IMDb fucking section and says, I miss doing that. I used to do that during Gideon Guys to search the IMDb for weirdos, and I haven't been doing it much for the show. I need to start doing it again because there's some crazy ass shit in there.
Yeah. I mean, it was a myth.
Like,
who cares, buddy?
Oh, here I copied one of these. Someone posted this because I am DB curious. There are elements of this cartoon that would now be considered sexist, including Hercules having an all-male fan club. 0 out of 1 found this interesting. So, congratulations.
Yes, sexist.
Because sexist sounds sexy, if you ask me.
I don't know how much longer we can hold off going into the full gay reading of this Hercules cartoon. But I did want to mention before I forget, there was a comic book, so there is a comic book tie.
Oh, wow. Of course, it's Gold Key.
Gold Key. Only 2 issues and then canceled. It is on the Internet Archive if you want to find it. The art is actually really, really good.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I tell you what, cool. if I have ever seen the image of Hercules, if it had been in an Overstreet guide or something like that, is the only chance I ever would have had of seeing this version of Hercules.
Yeah. Well, like I said, only 2 issues, so it came and went pretty quickly. In this image, we can see Newton, but we can also see Toot, who we're not going to see in the cartoons. He was kind of the Newton's sidekick.
And the sidekick has a sidekick?
Yeah, basically. But he wouldn't talk. He only had his flute, so he'd only make noises. But he was kind of like
He's a satyr. I got it.
Yeah, but he's kind of like R2D2, where they understood what he was trying to say.
What he was tooting? They understood what he was tooting?
What he was
Okay,
tooting, yeah. And there's also this cool piece of merchandise that this is almost a holy grail for me now, if I could find it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Magic ring.
That is so cool. I think that
I know.
is that what Spider-Man was wearing?
I know, because it has a secret compartment.
Yeah. That's so cool. Dude, is that your white whale?
It's one of them. Like, I'm not going to find it in the wild. I may break, who knows, on eBay it'd be probably way too expensive, but yeah.
But
somehow,
imagine finding one in the wild. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's possible, but the odds are pretty low. Especially in the original packaging. Yeah.
How long did they sell these?
Probably not too long. It's obviously, if you look at the packaging, from when it debuted in the
early 60s. Is from the 60s.
Yeah, early 60s. So probably a very limited window when it was on sale.
I don't know. This one right here looks old, so you never there could be a box of them just
I know. Yeah,
there
right? Probably was a bunch of unsold ones that, if they didn't get buried in a desert somewhere there, they made it to some, I don't know.
Yeah, they buried them right next to where they buried all those ET video games.
Yeah, well, when they had to bury ET, they were like, remember when we buried all those Hercules rings back in the 50s? I got a spot where we can bury the ET games.
There's so much weird shit buried in that mass graveyard. Because part of this, the plot of this is Hercules doesn't have access to all of his Olympian superpowers when he's on Earth. So Zeus gives him his Hercules ring so he can herc up, which, maybe sold a lot of fake rings. How many kids' fingers turn green? Some kid, they had to stop selling them because kids were putting them on and trying to fucking, fight, lions and shit and getting killed.
It was an epidemic in 1963. We don't know about it because it happened around the same time as the JFK assassination. So it was under the radar. Yeah,
it's kind of like no one went and saw Sorcerer because Star Wars came out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we watched 4 episodes of this. 4 5.5-minute episodes. So
basically that was my experience, because we always had the full half hour, and you would get, because you had commercials, you got about 4 episodes at a half hour.
So the city of Selenus is where we open our first one. And Newton, the centaur, who also repeats himself like he's Jimmy 2 times in Goodfellas.
Yes, Jimmy. I was trying to remember that name because I was going to bring up the same reference. Jimmy 2 times. I'm going to get the papers. Get the papers. It's Herc.
He goes up to this castle where our main villains. I kept trying to figure out his name, and he's Daedalus. I just started calling him Daedalus because that's funnier.
Okay, is this the one with the statue that grows?
Yes, this is the one with the statue that grows.
So this is the mask.
Yes, but
Daedalus is not in this one. This is a team up with the Mask and Wilhelmine.
Oh, hold on a second. I thought this was Daedalus wearing the mask of Vulcan.
No, it's not Daedalus. It looks like he wears the same clothing.
Oh, this is a different recurring character?
No, I think his name was Murtis. But anyway, so his gimmick was with the mask. It's very much like a super villain thing with the mask on, the mask of Vulcan. He is basically invincible.
Mask of Vulcan, right?
Yeah, indestructible. But he is not Daedalus.
I thought it was Daedalus.
No, not Daedalus. We'll be talking a lot about Daedalus. But this was I wanted to get the 3, because Hercules did have a rogues gallery, and the 3 main ones were Daedalus, who's an evil wizard, the Mask, this guy, and Wilhelmine, who's a witch.
Gotcha. How much baby oil do you think Daedalus goes through? What?
How much baby oil does Hercules go through?
You think Hercules was at those parties, right? I mean,
Jesus.
come on.
Oh my God.
So the Mask and Wilhelmine's plot, they're going to turn this little statue into a giant statue that'll turn to life and fuck up Hercules.
Yep.
And Herc arrives, but he can't. He starts trying to punch the Mask, but he can't be hurt as long as he's wearing the mask. So he uses his magic ring to Herc up and rips a column like he's ripping off Samson, knocking out columns. And the Mask, you know, he ought to like get some Velcro or something because it's falling out the mask. Whoops, comes off. And he starts running away. And Hercules tosses the statue before it can come to life. And it lands on top of the Mask. And apparently, based on just what we've seen here, yeah, there you go. It's Quentin Tarantino's favorite cartoon. But was that a recurring theme at the end of these? A bad guy's running away and Hercules throws something on top of them?
Yes.
Because it happens 3 times.
Yes. It's also because of the violence thing. You had to have like
I get it.
kind of a PG
But
ending.
3 out of 4 of these end with a monster being thrown on top of the bad guy.
Yeah, there's so many. If you've seen all these, if you grew up in Canada in the 80s or whatever 70s, 60s, you would know all the tropes, all the sound effects they use in every episode.
That's crazy.
And
That's
the
so cool.
villains, like the Mask was a reoccurring villain, and it ended the same way every time. His mask would get, knocked off in some fluky way, so Hercules could defeat him. Same thing over and over again. This one, it's the statue of Silenus.
That's right.
I totally remember watching this one so many times. When I was a kid, I thought the face of the statue was creepy, expressionless, and only with like the eyes moving slowly.
Well, these are clearly, I mean, watching these, this reminds me of, I brought up like Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse. Now the animation in this is much better than that, but it's aimed at the same age group. This is for very little kids.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, like I said, it was on before school. Like that, it was, that was a very specific time because they knew you'd watch this when you're eating breakfast and before you had to go to school.
There's like the tone of it, right? I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like this is for, you could quickly outgrow this. I do love that
totally.
This is like part of your national heritage is that you people can just share with each other is for certain generations is this weird Hercules show.
Oh, it's totally a Gen X Canadian point of reference.
I'm surprised we didn't see any T-shirts when I was up there.
I know it's I came across a T-shirt online. I don't know how easy it was to get.
Did you have to clean your screen?
Almost. I want to go back to the ring, putting on the ring because this is repeated in every episode. The exact same animation of him calmly taking the ring out from his belt and putting it on like it's no.
It doesn't matter what's going on. He's very calm about putting that ring on.
Yes, they even when he's hanging upside down in one of the later episodes, they just flip the screen and he's doing it upside down.
That's awesome.
But this is the music for the ring, putting on the ring is pretty.
Putting on the ring.
Here we go. The horns in the background. I read it was taken, that music and probably some of the other music was taken from the 1950s recording.
Yes, I saw that too. But also, the theme music in general is credited to Winston Sharples.
Yes, him. Yeah.
Who, in more than 2 decades at Paramount Pictures, composed all the background music for the Superman and Popeye theatrical cartoons produced by the Fleischer Studios.
There you go.
That's that New York connection because they're based out of New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it all comes back.
We are just putting it all together.
I know. We're gonna have and just kind of organically, unplanned, but
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, we always return to the 60s and 70s, so it just shows you how everything was much like today with all the, I'll use an example, the adult animation shows on Netflix, and you know, they all use the same voice cast and stuff. Our beloved, you know,
Big Mouth.
Big Mouth, and now Mating Season, and
and there was the Big Mouth. The other Big Mouth spinoff,
Human Resources.
That I didn't really get into, but
we watched it all. But it was the same. Well, it's all total spinoff, of course.
Oh yeah, well no, that's the whole. That's the Nick Kroll. It's Nick Kroll and his guys.
Yeah.
You know, that's Kroll, Mulaney, Manzukis.
Yeah.
You know, they've been doing shit together forever. Kroll and Manzukis came out of UCB together, and so.
Okay. Yeah, it's not an apples comparison, but it's
another one. Yeah, I know. Oh no, I'm sorry. You just tapped into like another one of my obsessions.
Yeah,
is like that group of people who I've been listening to do podcasts and watching their comedy for the last 15 years because I'm a big fan of all those guys.
Yeah, me too. And it was because of you. You turned me on to Big Mouth back in the day.
So our second episode, Herc is up in Olympus hanging out with King Zeus.
Yeah, King.
King Zeus.
Was Zeus a king?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think he had to worry about like dying and passing on the crown or anything.
Right, he wasn't like saying his father Zeus. It was a King Zeus.
Yes.
And Zeus is filling in Hercules that there's some sort of weapon being made down on Earth that's gonna get Herc. So you better put your ring on now. He goes, good idea. Puts his ring on, and they do this whole bit. And he either gets on Pegasus or doesn't. Sometimes he does.
Pegasus, yeah.
Sometimes he gets on Pegasus. Sometimes he just leaps down through the skies. And it's always funny that his little tiny tunic that's just above his nuts. If he's flying down, it's going down. And when he's flying up, and it's like, oh well, they can't show his balls. But in one of the shots in the fourth episode, he's flying. They introduced a little animation of a flap to show he's got little blue panties on underneath.
Good catch. I didn't catch that.
Where do you think my focus was? The entire 20 minutes it took to watch it.
Hard not to.
So Diddy and W. What was her name again?
Daedalus and Wilhelmine.
Okay, Diddy and Wilhelmine are in a cave with a magic candle that's fumes are going to take out Hercules. So they start arguing about who's going to be in charge of this. The candle's already been lit. And so they have a flashback.
Yes, this is basically a clip show episode.
Oh, it was.
I believe these are from the actual full episode.
That would make sense, given the budgetary things we've been hearing. Where, like, remember when you kidnapped Helena and the fucking bridge fell into the river? You're going over the waterfall and Hercules had to save your ass. She's like, oh, well, remember when you roofied Hercules and dragged him into the cave of forgetfulness or whatever, and you ran into the Bolus beast?
The Bolus beast. Yeah, there he is.
And you had to beg him to wake up and beat this thing by lovingly grabbing its long, sexy snout.
You've read my mind. You know what time it is.
Oh, I love that I don't have to like text you. I know the minute I say it. Oh God. So Hercules has to ring up. He beats this thing up. And oh no. They go back to the present. The candle is melted. Hercules arrives. They run away. He goes, guess I didn't need my ring after all, and flies away.
Yeah. Easy day at the office for Herc in this episode.
I gotta go back and jerk off another one of these beasts. I've got 5 minutes to kill.
Oh, God.
So our next episode, Helena, who I guess is the love interest of
Yes.
Hercules.
Here she is. The pretty Helena, as the narrator says at the beginning of this episode. Lagging a little bit. Lagging. Come on. Come on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
There we go. I'm
You're
back.
back. Good. Okay. You're back.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I mean, that's some Hanna-Barbera style good-looking woman.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Oh, and I'll show, since we haven't seen Wilhelmine yet. This is Wilhelmine. She's not bad. She kind of has a Angelina or Houston. What was her name?
A little bit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Angelina Jolie. Angelica Houston, you're trying
Angelica.
to say?
Angelica Houston. Sorry. Yes, that's who she reminds me
Yeah.
of. Angelica Houston.
Okay. She's got a little of a God, what's her name? I can't think of it. Actress I have a huge crush on. She was in To Die For. Anyway, unconventional. Ileana Douglas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Who, by the way, I read her memoir and it's fucking great. Highly recommend it.
Cool.
So Helena is in a river by I put Helena is in a river by a bat, like a boat. And Newton jumps out from a bush wearing a big red monster mask and scares her and tells her, "Oh, it's mischief day."
Yes.
So I've read. I'm a bit of an aficionado on Greek myths, and mischief day was a real big deal. Actually, just.
Oh yeah, to this day.
Oh, dude, I've heard Joseph Campbell has talked about it for like a half an hour on mischief day. We had mischief night. That was the night before Halloween, where you ran around and soaked windows and shit.
Right. So that's the mask that Newton. I do have the that first scene because it has some pretty funny dialogue.
Who is it?
That's me. That's me.
Newton 2 times.
Dear, you silly centaur.
You silly centaur. I'm gonna have to spank you.
No, spank me 2 times. 2 times.
Yeah, I know. And the that's another thing that's repeated endlessly in every episode.
So they decide they're going to prank Hercules by Helena going over to the island and with her horn pretending that she's being chased by a beast.
Yeah. And
Hercules will run over there and save her. But Herc is peeping. He's in a bush just right behind him peeping. Overhears the whole thing. So she goes to the island, but oh no, oh God, I forgot her name again.
Wilhelmine.
She's hiding out on this island and sicks her dragon on Helena. And she's screaming and hollering. And Hercules is like on the shore with the centaur kid, Newton. And he's like, "Yep, well, sounds like she's got this well in hand." Newton, like he's no selling the fucking gag. And then he looks into the boat, which I'm like, wait a minute, why is the boat there? Didn't she take the boat over to the island? Did it just float back? Anywho, these are the things
Right.
that vex me. They vex me, really. And he sees the horns in there. He's like, oh shit. So he runs over, rings up, and beats up the dragon and throws it, and it lands on the sexy goth chick. Boom. 1, 2, 3.
We got some. Yeah. Here's a good action shot.
There you go.
Of the fighting where you can't notice unless you pause it. Like Hercules actually has like a sort of a worried look on his face.
He's like, oh shit. You can see it right here. You can see it. Oh shit. Oh, he's biting my ass. The design of the monsters really feels Hanna-Barbera-ish. Not the people so much, but the monster designs remind me of Hanna-Barbera, or even more so, the dinosaurs on the Flintstones. They're very comedic looking.
Yeah, they're not that threatening at all. Not at all.
It's not Infinata,
No. Today, the kids would call them kaiju. That was a reoccurring theme of the Hercules cartoons, was the kaiju of the week or whatever, meaning monster. With a unique name. That's another feature of the Hercules cartoons. They would come up with unique monsters and names, and it would always be the blank of blank, pretty much. The statue of Salinas, the beast of this,
Bolus beast.
The Bolus beast.
Someone was thinking about trying to make toys, right? These fucking things.
Yeah, very much like a assembly line production for the kaiju. I do have audio from this one because it is a good example of a few of the sound effects, and also of
the fight scenes are frenetic and fun.
Yeah, they are. And the sound effects in general are just really good, I think, for Hercules.
It's like the Wilhelm scream.
Taken out of context, that sounds pretty crazy. And that's Wilhelmine after.
Oh, it's the Wilhelmina scream. Hey, hold on. It's the Wilhelmina scream. Okay.
Yeah, because the kaiju lands on her. She should have been squashed to death, of course, but no, she's just looking very haggard after that happens. But that whole sound right at the beginning.
That's like
tattooed on my brain. When he throws something.
How about
in the air.
that blood curdling scream? That's not.
There's a few. Well, Helena had a good scream when Newton tricked her with the monster mask.
That's true.
Just some really good voice acting, sound effects. Maybe this is
the look of a woman who
that's
woke
from
up
the later episode.
Okay. That was the look of a woman who woke up next to someone that she immediately regrets. What did I drink? That's like, holy shit, how much did I drink last night? Fuck. I've seen that look. I have seen that look, my friend.
I know, because she is she's a good looking lady otherwise. But yes, that's a lot of beers, a lot of Coke. Who knows how many different hookups, and that's
It reminds me of that great original cast Saturday Night Live sketch about, I think that it was like the perfume for the awkward walk home, and it's Gilda Radner like waking up in a hotel in New York, all disheveled and just going home after hooking up with someone. It's so funny.
It's known as the walk of shame.
Right.
I don't know if that's a Canadian expression.
No. That's what we call it here too. Everything we share.
Julia and I, when we're driving to the shop or just out early in the morning, we like to point out people who are doing the walk of shame. you know where they are and who they are when you see them.
Yeah, great Dire Straits song.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
So one more.
One more. Okay.
Yeah, just the what was it called? The Throne of Caledon, I believe.
Oh, right, the Throne of Caledon.
Save the best for last.
So it's a summer fair, and young King Dorian is given a very small version of Hal Gordon's little houseboy, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Looks just like him.
That's King Dorian.
Young King Dorian. They call him.
King Dorian. They have to specify, yes, because he is very young. He is a reoccurring character.
I did read that. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice guy, but a bit of a simpleton. He's fooled by Diddy and his this little blue monkey. That's right, the little blue guy. He looks just like whatever Hal Jordan's. Look at him. There he is.
Right. This is the second week in a row or whatever.
We can't remember his name. The Venusian, his young Venusian.
Cairo.
There
was a voice at one point that I thought was maybe the same voice actor, but I can't remember who that was.
No, that was Cairo was done by one of the legends.
Yeah,
He was not working here.
Just similar. So this is Daedalus, the wizard. He was basically
beard.
He was basically the Doctor Doom of the Hercules cartoon. He was the main villain. Yes, with his false beard that fools young King Dorian.
Because he's giving him this little feller as a gift, and he says, "Do your tricks." He's like, "Oh, I could put on him your crown, and I could take your scepter." And see, that's foreshadowing. They're doing a little foreshadowing because when they get when King Dorian takes the little feller back to his the castle, he transforms into a giant robot crow that breathes fire.
Yes.
And he just starts chasing everyone around, and P. Diddy here gets to take over the throne. But Hercules shows up, and apparently the little guy is Otis the Chameleon Man.
Yes.
Which is he recurring?
Yes. Yep. Because King Dorian recognizes him, and it's funny they went to the trouble of naming his monkey self as Plutus.
Plutus.
Yes.
Yes, it was. I thought it was Blutus.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first too.
Okay.
Yeah, Plutus was the name that I guess Daedalus thought up because he is that kind of,
Plutus. Plutus is like the sound of a big dump into the toilet. Plutus. Oh.
So yes, Otis the Chameleon Man is
Otis. I kind of like that name, Otis the Chameleon Man.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck is this thing?
Yeah, I know it looks like it's metal, but I don't think this has a name.
No, they didn't. They didn't give it a name.
Okay, but I do have this sequence here. So Dorian's tied up.
Daedalus. Aye, Dorian. At last your throne is mine, thanks to my good friend here. Otis, the Chameleon Man. Aye, and who can stop us now? Here comes Hercules!
Whose voice was that? Just some rando in the back. It's Enrico Palazzo from Naked Gun.
And of course, Hercules, he saves the day, and at the end of the day, he throws Otis the Chameleon Man, who lands on
Daedalus.
Diddy.
Diddy. Oh yeah, and then Hercules gets to take them away. This was a common ending to episodes.
This is when see, I didn't even notice he was taking them away. This is when the little flap was going up and down on his butt, and you saw they had little blue panties on.
Yeah, because every episode ends with Hercules going back to Mount Olympus.
Why does he need Pegasus?
Olympia! Yeah.
Oh, is that what he yells? Olympia?
Yeah, Olympia.
Couldn't make it out.
Okay. Yeah, Olympia. I guess there's a jail on Olympus.
He's a big fan of the movie Moonstruck.
Okay. I don't know. I know the movie. I don't know the reference.
He loves Olympia Dukakis.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, Pegasus.
Oh, that was really pulling the taffy on that one.
Pegasus is just something they use as like an enhancement, I guess, or when he needs that extra bit of horsepower. It adds to the whole grouping of Newton and Toot.
So yeah, I could totally picture you and your friends around 17.
No, not that old. 14.
But let me say, I can picture. Well, when did you start smoking pot? So
16. It was definitely after we rediscovered Hercules.
But see, I could see if it had been on that for being on as long as it was, I could see that there were definitely lots of potheads who probably loved getting waked and baked or whatever and watching fucking Hercules.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess it's a good time to start my teenage stories of Hercules. There is one last clip from that episode I do
Oh,
want to
okay.
play because it's another funny thing. This dude who has one line. Anyway, that's another reoccurring bit of audio from the Hercules. There's always somebody when a monster arrives says, "Flee for your lives." I don't know.
Okay.
In my head canon, it's always the same guy doing it, causing stampedes to unnecessarily start. Push your friends and neighbors out of the way. All that matters is you get to safety. So says this old man.
Yeah,
So
well,
anyway, I had to squeeze that in because that was a personal thing.
that's
Now,
right. Well, you're squeezing that like Hercules is squeezing that, just lovingly squeezing that
Oh, yeah.
giant snout.
the last episode was also where this came from.
Yes, the upside down.
The upside down putting on of the
He's so
ring.
calm. Look at that. He's like,
Yeah.
because he's pretty tough. It's like Popeye in his spinach because he's pretty
Yeah.
tough. He's pretty tough without it. But once
Mhm.
he puts that ring on, fuck, dude, it's all over.
Game over. There's nothing. No one can stop him. So yeah, you shouldn't be too concerned. But so when we were 14, or thereabouts, 13, 14, suddenly one of my friends just became obsessed with Hercules. And it was still on, like I said, at the same time as it always had been throughout the 80s. And suddenly he's always talking about it. But it was more, we were teenagers now. It was more like, it's so cheesy, making fun of Hercules, making fun of Newton. And he, at one point, he recorded the theme song just off his TV.
It's been covered. I saw that
Yeah.
it's been covered and like put in like movies and shit.
Yeah. No, it's definitely borderline iconic in Canada. But he recorded it off his TV just with like a tape player, how we used to do that sometimes back then to show you how we were still kind of in the dark ages of technology at that point. And I remember he brought it into school and we played it at the end of a class. And I can remember most of the other students were like, "What the fuck are you doing playing the Hercules theme song?"
Yeah, why did you play? Okay, I need some more context. Just at the end of the class, you guys went, "Oh, everyone, listen up."
Yeah,
played it.
That's the thing. I just know we played it. I think it was just because we had all these in jokes. We had developed like this giant.
Okay.
And Travis was part of it too. But there was other people.
So is this like rogue guerrilla theater? You're like, okay, at the end of algebra, we're just gonna play the Hercules fucking song.
Kind of, because by that time we were like big into SNL. There was Kids in the Hall in Canada.
Got it.
We were obsessed with Seinfeld, the early seasons.
What's the deal with the Hercules song?
But it was in that sort of that same mindset or frame of mind where we were making fun of it. And, because by that point, watching it with, non-child eyes, you saw how silly and cheesy and campy it was. But then this same friend, and I'm not going to name him, he turned out to be a total shithead scumbag.
Oh.
Travis will know who I'm talking about later in life. And
so it wasn't him. Got it.
What I'm about to talk about explains kind of his future behavior. Maybe suddenly he started writing like fanfic, like X-rated fanfic. Hercules
slash. Hold on a second. He was doing Hercules slash fic. That's what they call that.
Okay.
Slash fic.
So what does the slash mean?
That's just what it's called.
Okay.
Holy shit, that's fucking tight.
That's what he was experiencing as he.
I would murder somebody to get copies of this to read.
Yeah. So he started, and there was three of us. It was him, me, and another friend.
That's so funny
that he shared this with.
Oh boy, he shared it with you. Oh
yeah.
boy.
And
Oh boy.
and to my everlasting shame or whatever, I attempted a
To jerk off
Hercules.
to it.
No, I didn't go that far.
You attempted to
thankfully.
do one yourself?
I did one of my own.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you have it?
No,
Oh,
it's
come on.
long since gone. Yeah. I remember I had it like hidden underneath. Like I had this area in my parents' basement, which became sort of my hangout room
Uh-huh.
when I was a teenager. I had
Oh,
this
boy,
area
yeah.
where there would be porn, there would be that, there'd be my pipes, my dope. It was my hiding spot for all
Rolls
my...
of toilet paper, socks,
No, I didn't have
crusty
to hide
socks.
that stuff.
crusty
But
crusty socks.
crusty socks. Oh, there was crusty socks. Anyway, I think I just wrote one. I remember. Oh no, it's just so it is embarrassing. But it was at that age where everything was like hee hee. Oh, this guy's gay. Ha ha ha. You know those jokes.
Oh, was it gay slash fic?
It was totally gay. Yeah, there was a
that's
big.
God
There was
damn
a
it.
very heavy gay side
I
to
would
it.
fuck. I wish I
Because
you
it
have-
writes itself. Really, you have Hercules.
yeah, you have to still
Newton,
have this somewhere,
Toot
right?
King
Come on.
Dorian.
Did you
It's-
throw it away?
Yeah. Oh, it's long gone. I don't know. I mean, I guess I threw it away eventually, but yeah, we're talking like 34
It got too crusty.
years ago. It was just meant to be like a joke passed around with, a few friends. Ha ha ha! We did this, and then but it was, and I can remember it was later. There was like we were in one of our classes, like math class or whatever, and two of the cool kids in school were talking about Hercules and making fun of it, and I kind of remember thinking, oh yeah, we were, we're onto something here.
Mhm.
The cool
Hey,
kids.
yeah, and then you went, hey, you guys want to read something I wrote?
Yeah, I got some. It's like
This
the
is my way.
Tijuana
This is my way into the popular crowd.
That was my Tijuana Bibles. I was writing X-rated Hercules fanfic and selling it in the back of in the school parking lot. That's how I made my money, my first
That's
million.
so funny. It's how you bought your weed.
Yeah, trading it for weed. And I remember in high school also listening. It was like from the college radio station. You'd have these funny talk shows where guys were probably stoned or whatever, just talking.
Yeah,
about
I know.
whatever.
I used to do one.
Yeah, and one of the episodes was them talking about the Hercules cartoon. I was like, did you ever notice how Hercules didn't have any genitalia at all? There's like no bulge in his pants, and that's the part
His
I
iron
remember.
thighs. His iron thighs
Yeah.
came right together. So he was tucking like a Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, but that was the whole. It was the whole ironic thing. It was definitely in the atmosphere at that time, because it was a local Calgary show, like college Calgary show. So it was part of the culture. But it was right around then that they finally stopped showing it.
They're like,
was
hey,
right
we
around
heard
then.
kids are writing fucking slash fic.
Yeah, I
about
think
Hercules.
that was
We got to
maybe-
take this. We got to take this off the air. Holy shit!
It was a big scandal in Calgary. Oh my goodness. But I knew I had to bring that up.
You are a brave man, Kelly Nelson. See, I had a very embarrassing story that I told recently, but I only told it on the Patreon for Mystery Titans Theater.
Right. That I didn't
so
get to hear because
you
my
didn't get to hear. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Yeah. But for $5 a month, I'll give you this one. How my wife and I completely embarrassed ourselves at a Ring of Honor show where we were Samoa Joe's. We were put on Samoa Joe's guest list, and we made complete assholes out of ourselves. For more details, $5 a month, Mystery Titans Theater. I just want to keep plugging this shit. But you, a brave man here, just admitted to that for free. For free.
The first one is free. The rest you'll have to pay for.
Uh-huh.
If we do set up a Patreon or something. Probably not. No, I'll just give them away for free.
Oh, I'll give it, dude, please. That's fucking great. Okay, real quick, and it's a plug for anyone who is listening. One of my favorite podcasts is The Greatest Generation. It's a Star Trek podcast. It's super funny. And when they were reviewing Star Trek Enterprise a year ago, one of the hosts, Adam Pranica, who's fucking hilarious, just got it into his mind to where he would occasionally just decide to write slash fic about these obscure these Star Trek characters that appeared in the episode that are like some of the funniest things I've ever heard. It's like these two Andorians, and the Andoria, everything is ice. And like, as he, and then as he lovingly placed her onto the icy desk, and then on and on from there. And it's great because he's a very good writer. It's some of the funniest shit I've ever listened to. So I'm sure yours was just as comedically fantastic.
Oh yeah,
14.
It was the peak of teenage gay joke humor. I assure you, nothing would beat it. Unintended.
Well, come on, I mean,
no. If anyone masturbated to my Hercules erotic fiction,
it was Travis.
Yeah, well, he would masturbate to anything. We know that.
On that note.
So on that note, I think we've covered it all. It was a great time.
It was a blast. I had so much fun. This is the first show we've done with the exception of Spider-Man. This is the first show we've done where like I've never seen any of this.
Yeah,
and I loved it.
Yeah. I'm very pleased because I thought, yeah, Johnny hasn't seen this. Who knows? But I also knew this is.
I'm a sucker for Canadian television, buddy.
Johnny is, as we've said.
I like it better. I think I like it better than you guys do.
That's good. Yeah, it fits. It totally fits with what we've been doing here for the last few months, and it's great. I've never talked about the Mighty Hercules as in depth as I have.
You've written about it in depth, but you haven't talked about it in depth.
It's been 30 plus years. So great. So let's get to some.
Let's take a quick.
Oh, break. Yes. Let's take a quick break. Johnny has to hit the head. I will play Making Out from our Mad episode this week.
Okay, that's crazy because right before the show, I had used the facilities and it was a reading visit. And I was like, you know what? I didn't really read or flip through the Mad magazine that Kelly gave me as a gift. I took out. I didn't bring the record in there. I was like, no.
I was going to say, I'm honored that it's now part of your bathroom reading.
Well, no. I took it back down and I put it back in its bag. It's not staying in there because I flipped through it. But for those of you who remember the Mad magazine episode we did, where we talked about one of my first Mads, and then I remember that I had the Making Out record. Kelly found that special and gave it to me as a present. And while I was sitting on the toilet, I was reading the Exorcist spoof, and it was that boom. Oh my God, I'm 8 years old again.
Awesome.
And remembering all the references I didn't understand.
Except for the toilet experience wasn't like you were 18 or 8 years old.
Oh, no. This was much, there's far more diarrhea. I'll be right back.
More difficult. All right. We'll be back, folks.
Making out. Tell myself I could be, should be making out. But all I'm making out. Come on, it's making out. Is that everyone's making out? But me. Making out.
Now Archie Bunker out of shape is making out.
And Superman without his cape is making out.
King Kong when he is going ape is making out.
Now Frankenstein goes getting shock is making out.
I've even heard that Mr. Spock is making out.
Would you believe that my pet rock is making out?
Making out. Everyone's making out.
One more time. And remember, we're going to do maybe a vote for best song that's been played on all the episodes of Fantasy Masterpieces so far. We'll do like a top 10 countdown, and Making Out will definitely make the top 10.
Making out. Tell myself I could be, should be making out, but all I'm making out. Come on, let's make it out. Is that everyone's making out?
But me.
Making out.
Now Archie Bunker out of shape is making out.
And Superman.
All right, we are back, and we are back for some KKK, baby.
The KKK took my baby away and took her away from me. The KKK took my baby away and took her away from me.
Oh, now it's time for KKK, Kelly's Collectible Corner.
All right, so we talked about doing an episode about the Canadian cartoons.
No collectibles.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I won't have anything to show off because I don't have those two gold key Hercules issues. I wish I did, but
Nor
I
do
don't.
you have that Hercules ring.
No, I don't have the ring.
Was there any Rocket Robin Hood merchandise at
Good
all?
question. They, if you count like the DVD set that's been put out
No.
15 years ago, that's
any
something,
kind of toy or coloring book or anything.
I'd have to look into it. I don't know how much like Canadian specific merchandise like that would have been put out. I'm not sure what the industry was like at the time for Canada, but I'll look into it now that you've mentioned it, and I can give you an update on a future episode if need be.
Oh, can. I just looked it up. You can buy shirts that are made made yesterday. Right.
Yes. Yeah. Like the Hercules ones. So with the cartoons and with Spider-Man being part of that, and the voices and same animation, that's a perfect way to get something in here where I'll have something for KKK.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do some Spider-Man here.
One thing, I just saw this. Here's all I can know. Fucking AI just popped up. So I will use it just because here's how good AI is. Official licensed merchandise for the classic 1960s animated series Rocket Robin Hood is highly rare. Okay. Well,
Yeah. And that it never was made. It's that rare.
It's so rare. Yeah.
So all my picks are from the era that we just talked about.
Oh my God, did I have that?
You may have. It was, I think, very. There was a pretty high print run on it because these are the first like major wave of paperbacks.
Yes, then I had. Oh my
that
God.
Marvel put out around 1965. They all have this same quote at the top.
Oh, I see.
He's hip. Greatest of that new groovy breed of superheroes with super problems. That was from the New York Herald Tribune.
No, I was thinking of the mid 70s paperbacks that came out.
Okay. Yeah. At this time, this was 65. There's a Fantastic Four one. The cover is It Happened on Yancey Street, if you know that issue of Fantastic Four. I think maybe there was an Avengers one too. And then there was I think DC, there was a Superman one, I think from the 60s, mid 60s. It was all part of the Batmania craze, superhero camp craze of the mid 60s.
Wow.
But I found this at a vintage market a few years back and got it.
What are the stories that are reprinted in it?
So it's all Ditko Spider-Man. So the first few years. The first one is Duel with Daredevil. Also featuring the unique villainy of the Ringmaster and the Circus of Crime. That is issue number 16 of The Amazing Spider-Man. And it's done just like Mad would do, where it's the sideways panels of the story.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so you have to read it like this, right? So there's that one. I don't know if they probably chop it up a bit and edit out some of the story to make it fit. So there's the Spider-Man Daredevil one. It goes on for quite a while in this format because it's only like 4 panels. And then we get the origin. I think this is from Spider-Man number 1. Yeah, like the recap of the origin.
Okay.
So not Amazing Fantasy 15. And then you get the no, it's Amazing Fantasy 15. Because you get no, sorry. it's Spider-Man #1, because he's trying to cash the check that he got for being on TV as Spider-Man.
Right.
And they're like, well, you don't have any ID that says you're Spider-Man, so we can't.
You think luchadors run into that problem?
Yeah, I know. And old school masked wrestlers in the 60s and 70s. Sure, the spoiler had a hard time cashing checks. And then it goes into the first story from Spider-Man 1, which was the first appearance of J. Jonah Jameson and his son as the astronaut.
The astronaut
Spider-Man.
one, yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man saves the day, but of course still ends up getting blamed for everything that went wrong. We get the Secrets of Spider-Man, which I think was from the first annual. They did a bunch of
I've seen that.
Yeah, so it shows how his web shooters work and how much he can lift. The Hulk and Thor and the Thing are watching him lift this giant weight.
They kind of show you the scale of how strong he is compared to the other guys.
Yeah. They say, well, he may not be as big as them, but he can lift as much almost as much. And then we get the Menace of Mysterio. So that's from issue 13, first appearance of Mysterio, one of my favorite Spider-Man villains.
Oh, one of the neat things about the Spider-Man cartoon, when they did do Mysterio correctly, was when he talked, little wavy lines would appear on his bubble. That's like sound waves, which I always thought was really fucking cool.
Yeah, and they adapted the first appearance pretty much into the 67 cartoon with most of the same scenes, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that's the last story, is the Mysterio one. Guest star page at the end with Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four and the Hulk all together. And yeah, maybe I have... Yes, and then also available in book form for the first time, the Fantastic Four, the campus craze that's sweeping the nation.
Oh, wow.
Cool heroes, cool villains, cool plots, cool adventures. Comic book reading is in. Their greatest adventures, plus never revealed secrets. Another great collector's album. This is put out by Lancer, who was a major paperback publisher. They did famously Conan paperbacks for years.
That's cool.
Conan the Barbarian by Howard. I got one coming in the mail from eBay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yeah, this is cool. And then next, also from around the same time, this is the oldest issue of Amazing Spider-Man I have. Number 49.
God.
Yeah.
I had the one right before it.
48, where it's just the Vulture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Okay, so real quick. We're at a flea market. We've never been at this flea market before. This guy has some comics. It's one very small little box, and he's got a bunch of this run of like this Vulture, Craven, Kingpin, all this shit. And I'm looking, and he's like not charging a ton for these at all. And I am begging my mother, can we just offer him like $50, or can we make a deal and just buy this box? Because and there was no way. We never went back there, but I did get the first Kingpin issue.
Wow, that's the best one to get. Number 50, the very next issue, the Spider-Man No More.
Right, but it was also this one was in shitty shape. But I love these because was it Marco? What was the name of this Vulture?
Blackie Drago.
Blackie Drago.
Yeah,
because the Vulture in the cartoon was Blackie Drago.
Yeah, or at least that with the helmet.
Yeah, the helmet. Yeah,
that the old Vulture never wore. And this Vulture, he would appear again briefly in an issue where the old Vulture returns.
Yes.
And then I don't think ever again.
No.
At least not until maybe some hotshot writer in the last 10, 20 years.
This was the height of it just being so good.
Yeah. John Romita art. This one holds such a special place in my heart because I got this as a birthday present when I was, I think, probably for my 9th birthday. So 1986,
Wow.
1986
Wow.
from my sister in Winnipeg. We were visiting Winnipeg in the summer, and my birthday's July 27. And yeah, I remember picking this one out because I didn't have the Marvel Tales reprint. I'd missed that one, and I needed to know what happened. It wasn't because it was old or because
old or in amazing shape.
Yeah, I mean, it's not it's in pretty good shape.
That looks like it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it's in pretty good shape. Not as good as some of my older comics, but still pretty good.
What a cover!
But yeah, I just wanted to read the story.
That's funny
because it begins like issue 47 has Kraven, issue 48 has the Vulture, and then issue 49 is the two of them teaming up. And I've said this before, I always loved supervillain team ups. That was one of my favorite things of the classic heroes. Yeah, the cover's great. I just love how the Vulture's coming in punching. This one's got, you name it, this one's got it. So yeah, this must be the comic I've owned the longest, because I don't think I have anything. All my original comics from when I was very young are long.
I have something similar to share.
Oh, great! There we go. I was hoping you would have some Spider-Man to share.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you go now. I got one more thing, but you.
Okay, no, you go. Finish up.
Okay. And this is a cool one I got from one of my closest friends, David.
Oh, what's that?
Victoria. It's the John Romita Amazing Spider-Man Artisan Edition.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Artisan Edition, put out by IDW. They put out a lot of classic content. They put out the Dick Tracy collections.
Right.
Yeah, so they license the characters, and it's all the original pages, right, where you can see the notes in the margin.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right. But this one's all Romita art. And let's see, this also has a Mysterio story.
That's great. I've said it. When I first got the reprints and the paperbacks that came out in the 70s, I liked Ditko. I got it as a kid. I'm like, I get this. I like this. But when it switches to Romita and he finds that run from like in the mid 60s where Peter's in college and it's groovy and everything, that's some of the best comic book art ever done.
Yeah,
so good.
I love them both. So I mean, Ditko, the Marvel Tales reprints of Ditko were going when I was like 5, 6. So I got in on the ground floor of those, and then they went right into the Romita issues, and I loved both. Yeah, I know the style changes.
Yeah. I love both. I just, for my eye, I preferred the Romita stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's Ditko had a very idiosyncratic style that, I mean, it worked for Spider-Man, worked for Doctor Strange.
Also, sexy chicks did.
Yes, well,
Romita drew sexy chicks.
Yes, well, because before he came back to Marvel in the mid 60s, he'd been doing romance comics at DC for about 7 years straight.
Right.
But yes, that's often a knock on Ditko, is that his women weren't attractive enough.
There's some on Randian reason why
there's
his women
also
are
a few other
unattractive.
a few other knocks on Ditko. But this has, let's see, it has issue 67, 68, 69, 71, and 75. Oh, and 84. So yeah, Crisis on Campus. That's a famous one. We talked about all these.
Yeah, the Crisis on Campus. Crisis on Campus is the legendary one where Stanley fucking is too wishy-washy to take a side.
Yeah.
And has Peter he's like, yeah, sure, the establishment's bad, but you fucking hippies can go get a fucking job. It's like,
yeah. Here's that scene. We talked about this on Imaginary Stories with Gwen confronting the campus radicals and slapping the one. And of course, her father was Captain Stacy. And
she's daughter of a cop. So
yeah. So we have a lot of Kingpin in this. There's an issue where Quicksilver is in it in his original green costume.
Yeah. I always loved those one shots they would do where they would have not a team up, but a misunderstanding between heroes.
Yeah.
It was Spider-Man because there was the Quicksilver one. There's
Yeah.
the Black Widow one where she debuts her actual
her new look.
The look.
Yeah. The 70s.
There's
look.
a Medusa one. I remember the cover of that.
That's a grail for me too, because that's one of my favorite all-time covers by anybody, not just John Romita. There's also Kazar was another one from around that time. Yeah, this is a cool book. I love this stuff. There's even this cover. This was never used for whatever reason. This Electro one.
Oh, it's hard to see the black and white on the screen. But
if I can bring it back a little bit or turn it this way. Anyway.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, it looks
great. For whatever reason, Marie Severin did the cover that got published. But so you get some extra stuff. And it's awesome. I didn't bring out the big guns for Spider-Man. I'm saving those for the all Spider-Man episode.
Well, I'm bringing out
next season.
I don't have much, but I'm bringing out my big guns now because I just got one.
Oh, cool.
So a few years ago, when I was back in New Jersey to go to the Dean show, we've talked about this. I went to my old flea market that I used to get comic books at when I was a little kid, because it's still going, and it's right near where Joe Danzo lives. And I did it on a Sunday, just like I did when I was a kid. And there was a dude who had comics, and I found this issue of Marvel Tales that I'm like, I think this might be the first comic book I remember ever owning, because it was Spider-Man and the Prowler. And I bought it. That's this one.
Yep. I had that one too.
Right. But when I read it, something about it never struck me as I don't think that's what it was. I seem to remember a building being involved in this fall. So I finally took the time to look it up, found it, because there was also an ad for a G.I. Joe, because G.I. Joe at the time was the big G.I. Joes.
The dolls, yeah.
And this was pre-Star Wars, by the way. And they decided to really upgrade the G.I. Joes, because there was Eagle Eye G.I. Joe. They introduced the intruders to aliens from space that they could fight. There was the Human Bullet, a superhero who was basically Bullet Man, called the Human Bullet. They introduced that doll. And the Atomic Man, who was bionic, basically, and you could make a helicopter out of one of his arms. And I remember seeing an ad for one of those and looked it up. Needless to say, I eBayed it. I got it. The very first comic book I ever remember owning.
That's cool.
And
when you brought this up, when you brought it up, whenever you got that other Marvel Tales, I was wondering if you meant the earlier ones.
It is.
Yeah, because there was a two-parter when he was first introduced, the Prowler. And then there's the other one that we both owned. I never owned the one that you just got. I never owned those.
Well,
I had the second appearance.
And this one, the first one I bought is from 76. This is from 75, because it makes sense, because I couldn't read yet. I was still figuring it out. So I was 5 years old. And now what this isn't is the first comic book I ever had where I suddenly realized I could read, because I don't know what it was. I thought it was this one because of the G.I. Joe ad that I do remember. But the G.I. Joe ad that I fully remember being at my grandmother's house after a family Sunday dinner, and I had a comic book in my hand, just looking at the pictures and kind of putting it, and it was an ad that had the Bullet Man guy, the Human Bullet in it, where I suddenly started, everything I've been watching on Sesame Street just suddenly went, and I started reading it out loud, and my parents and my grandparents were just talking, go, wait a minute, what are you doing?
And I'm like, can read now.
And they brought me in like, holy shit, he's reading. And this was kindergarten, 5 years old. That's about right. About kindergarten age. So I'll never know what comic book that was. But I have the distinct memory of flipping through this one in my my parents' bedroom when I was 5 years old, being fascinated by this.
Yeah.
What is this?
Mm-hmm. I know that magical appeal that comics had, or still do, but have when you were young. It's
just so fun. And by the way, I did not have to pay. I think I paid $10 for this on eBay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Marvel Tales, right?
Yeah, those you can get for a pretty good price.
But I have a copy of the very first comic book that I remember ever owning before I could read. The internet isn't completely shitty.
No, it is.
We have this. We've got this. We've got us doing our show, and we've got the people who watch our show.
That's all you need. All right, great. I'm glad you had a comic book for this week. And now let's do the letters and call it a night. And maybe we'll break our record for longest show yet. It's going to be close.
Maybe.
I always think, this one can't possibly.
I always think there was no way the Canadian cartoon one can be.
No, but somehow we're getting close. It's like, no. Duke time.
Oh Christ! I'm not trying to talk for clapping. I'm trying to talk for you guys. You better start thinking. It's getting to be goddamn ridiculous.
Always gets me every time. All right, so we have a few letters to go through.
Okay.
From our usual contributors, Travis and the Duke. So Travis on YouTube had a short.
Travis and the Duke.
There you go. That's a good Willie Nelson song from the mid-70s. Maybe.
I was going Benny and the Jets, but
there you go. Travis says on YouTube, and this is in regards to the Wonder Woman episode we did last time. Steve Trevor was no Steve Travis, referring to the Rookie of the Year Steve Travis.
Oh yeah, I know. From
the first few episodes of Titans of Wrestling. So a deep cut. We've come across Steve Travis a few times here and there on Mystery Titans Theater. But yeah, Trevor was no Steve Travis. He wasn't Rookie of the Year.
No, he wasn't.
No. So, if you didn't win Rookie of the Year, really.
Certainly didn't.
What are you? So the Duke, also on YouTube, has this to say: another awesome episode. Thank you.
Thanks, Duke.
And of course, because it's the Duke, that means there's a longer missive on prowrestlingonly.com. Yes, now
every time I take a look at that place, when I turn my phone on, a little tumbleweed just rolls past.
Yes, it's as dead as it's ever been.
That is my dick.
I mean, it's only every 10 years you have the GWE. So
right now, the only thing really going on is this thread and the guy watching all the jobber matches that we watched during Titans.
Yes, and hating Dominic DeNucci.
And
hating everything. And I tried to be polite, but then Matt D came in and kind of tore him a new one.
I know, yeah. He was Matt D just came in and said, "You keep talking about stalling." But to be, look, I'm take this guy's side a little bit on a few of these things here. Like, he's watching some really shitty wrestling. It sucks.
Yeah. No, maybe we'll get into this on a future Mystery Titans episode. We'll leave the wrestling talk for the wrestling show.
Okay.
But yes, no, it is nice. It is. You're right. It's one of the only.
There's activity going on.
Only threads with activity on PWO, unfortunately.
And you're involved in both of them because you're going down with the goddamn ship. You're like the captain of the Titanic.
I mean, I just go, it's usually just in the morning when I'm doing my morning rounds of the internet, and then I don't go back at any time. I used to be all day long off and on, but no, that's long.
When I'm working in between stops, if I'm having a smoke, I just like, what's going on here? That's it.
Yeah. So the Duke says, I have to admit, outside of Justice League and Super Friends, I'm not a big fan of Wonder Woman. Oh, Duke. You're missing out, man. I recently bought a Wonder Woman Challenge of the Gods book at Free Comic Book Day. A free comic book day sale at my local comic shop that reprints issues 8 to 14 of the George. Okay, he says he has George Lopez, but he meant
the George Lopez, the comedian.
I didn't know
he had a run on Wonder Woman. You didn't know that?
In the post-crisis 80s? No, I missed that.
Yeah, before dude, while he was still really like working hard to make it in a stand-up, and he had a and he was also working at DC on Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is before he beat the shit out of Carlos Mencia for stealing his jokes backstage at the Comedy Store. He was
and just before George Perez took over.
People get confused all the time.
Yeah, I know. I was confused myself for a long time. So we will see how that goes. That is the Perez run is. I've only read the first arc. I
never read any of it. The art looks wonderful, and I wasn't interested. Much like Duke, not a big fan.
It's good. I just haven't had it in a good format ever. But someday I will, because it is really good. I did like that movie about the creator of Wonder Woman you guys mentioned. I don't believe I ever saw the 70s live action series. Wow. The modern DC movie wasn't that great, and I started watching the sequel but never finished it. That's like almost everybody's story. Julia and I did.
Wonder Woman rapes a man in that movie, by the way.
Yes. It took 3 sittings for Julia and I to get through it. So, but I did like, we talked about this, I did like Kristen Wiig as the cheetah. She was really good. But otherwise, yes, skippable. And it killed the franchise because I don't think they're making another one. That Justice League Unlimited series Johnny mentioned is, I think, my favorite DC animated series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Superman's really good. Of course, Batman's really good. But yeah, Justice League, it's because it has so many characters. When
it's Justice League Unlimited, it's like, oh, look at all these. There's a 7 Soldiers of Victory episode. There's background shots where they're like on the satellite, and you look in the background, and they are some of the most obscure DC characters just floating around. It's great.
Yeah, we will find a way to talk about it in the future, I'm sure.
Oh, we will.
And he ends with "Can't wait for Herc and the Rocket Robin Hood."
Hey, this one's for you, Duke.
Yeah, Duke was one of the main guys pushing to do this episode, so we got that done. Thank you, Duke. And now, I guess we'll just close up and say this is the end of season 1. 10 episodes, a nice round number.
Yeah.
In the books, and we're going to take a couple month break. It's summer. We've got other things to do with our lives.
Do we?
Unfortunately.
And to be honest, we don't want to use up all of our material.
Yeah.
So we'll be back. We're taking summer off. My workload is going to go crazy. Kelly's got all kinds of stuff going on. And we'll be back come Labor Day. And thanks again for everyone who has been checking out the show.
Yeah.
Duke, especially, Travis. And those of you who don't pipe in, if you want to, let us know what you think in the YouTube comments. And if you know anybody who likes the show, if you like the show, if you like the show and you know someone who might like the show, let them know about it. We're doing this for us. But if you're enjoying it and you know someone else who might be enjoying it, let's all enjoy this together.
Yeah. I mean, we're doing this for fun.
We are doing deep dives on things nobody gives a fuck about except you people.
Yeah. And it's great to have more voices, more letters to read.
Yeah, for the sake of the bit.
I mean, that's the thing, though. If we become too popular and have too many letters, we won't be able to read them all.
No. Well, that's
or else the shows will be 5 hours long.
That's a problem I want to have, Kelly.
Yeah, okay.
That we pick what we read.
Yeah.
I mean,
someday we can dream.
Duke always gets, no matter Duke, it's his segment.
Yeah, it is.
We'll always read Duke's, but if we did get so popular that we have to bump Travis and his, the Steve Travis line, if there's something better, we just need to bump that kind of shit.
Gotta up your game with the comments, Trav.
I mean, no, he knows. There's no one else saying anything. That's what I'm saying. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, love you, Trev. He's coming out on Canada Day to the farm, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, him and Christina Norris will have a good old time in a few days. So
Great.
coming up,
That sounds awesome.
so coming up for the next season, here's a few possibilities. Lil Abner, I want to do Lil
We're doing
Abner.
Little Abner.
Yeah, Captain Marvel, the
Yep.
Shazam Captain Marvel. Justice League of America. I want to watch those 60s cartoons that we watched Green Lantern. I want to go back to those. I want to do a Thor episode at some point, one of my favorite characters. We got to do a Batman episode eventually. There's just so many possibilities.
We could do a Batman episode and not do the TV show.
Yeah, we don't have to do the TV show. That's why I said there's so many possibilities. We don't have to rely on the TV show, the 66 TV show.
I want to do my compilation of, speaking of Batman, a compilation of all the weird superhero shit that appeared in the 60s during Batmania that I've been that I've been collecting clips from. Just wait till we get to Captain Nice.
Yes. Or Captain President, is it? Or what was the
Super President.
Super President.
Captain Nice was written by Buck Henry.
Yes. Captain Nice, and what was the other one?
Mr. Terrific.
Mr.
But
Terrific.
not the DC Mr. Terrific.
No, not the superhero or the DC superhero. Yeah. That one I think will be a two-parter because there's so much potential to cover there. Sean has requested Prince Valiant, and Johnny has found several videos.
Yeah,
so...
because when Sean was when I was in Vancouver and we were hanging with Sean, and I was making fun of the fact, like, oh God, Prince Valiant, the thing I never read because it was boring. And I was shitting on the whole thing. Guess who went and found a bunch of cool Prince Valiant shit? This guy right here. So we're good to go on a Prince Valiant episode.
Yeah, I did not know there was not only a Prince Valiant cartoon in the 90s.
From the 90s.
90s. Also a straight-to-video Prince Valiant movie.
Yeah, from a straight-to-video Prince Valiant movie made in Europe.
Yes. With
and I'll give it away, a very special episode of Defenders of the Earth from 86, where the Phantom, Mandrake, and Flash Gordon time travel and go have a mission with Prince Valiant. So
yeah. And speaking of those guys, King Features,
we'll be doing that.
Yeah, we'll do an episode because there's a lot of King Features material out there.
Yeah, we'll be doing a lot more comic strip oriented things. Yep. I definitely want to do the Doonesbury animated special because that's near and dear to my heart.
That's a great idea too. We'll do another Dick Tracy eventually, and we got a full-on Spider-Man one to do. So yeah, we've got a lot to go. A lot of options. So look.
But everyone enjoy your summer. We're taking a vacation. Hope you are too.
Yeah. Take a vacation and come back Labor Day weekend.
And re-listen to all the past 10 episodes over and over again, like Travis does.
Yes. It helps you sleep, fall asleep, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Helps you sleep, helps you fuck. We're good for what ails you.
That's what we're here for. All right. Join us then for season 2 of Fantasy Masterpieces. Hopefully this won't get us banned.
I think we should be fine if we're talking over it, because then it's fine.
Only Russia and Belarus care about the Ramones on YouTube for some reason.
This is from this fucking... They put out this album called Saturday Morning Album.
Yeah.
They did me and my wife discovered it flipping around one night, and there was like the special on maybe Cartoon Network, and it was Drew Barrymore and a bunch of nobodies being a bunch of Gen Xers, like dancing around, and they were showing clips of these videos of all the songs that were on this album. If you can find, it's out there on YouTube. You find that, it's great, but that shit's annoying. But that album is probably my most listened to album I own. Period.
Oh yeah.
Every song except, it's all classic stuff except for they do the Ren and Stimpy Happy Happy at the end, which sucks. But everything else on it is fucking awesome. And that's the biggest hit, was the Ramones doing Spider-Man.
Yeah. I just remember seeing it reviewed in Entertainment Weekly at the time, so that's how I was aware of it. But I've never, other than the Ramones, I don't know if I've listened to any of them.
Oh, dude, it is literally one of the best albums of all
Yeah?
time.
Okay. Well, I'll find it on YouTube.
It's kind of hard to find. I have the entire thing because I burned it and saved it to my computer way back when. So I still have all of it because of rights issues. Only certain songs you can find online, but I have like all of them. The Sigmund and the Sea Monsters one is fucking amazing. The Fat Albert one's amazing. The art, there's the Sugar. It's all the great ones. It's so good. If I could figure out a way to send you all the files, I'll do that.
Well, I'll find it. Okay, I think we're officially at our longest length episode.
Oh no, I thought we were done.
I knew you thought we were done, but we weren't. Okay, bye.